Hello everyone, my name is Katie and welcome to my Greenland Quilter channel. I hope everybody has been having a fantastic day. I hope everybody's been able to tolerate the weird weather that we've been getting lately. So yesterday we got snow on the ground. We actually have it on the mountain. There is ice on the lake. Because we had like 2 or 3 days of temperatures below freezing, enough for a small thin layer of ice to form on top of the lake. And then the snow came yesterday, and so now the lake looks all white, and there's white everywhere. And then guess what? We have a bit of rock going on as we speaking. And for those who don't know what a bit of rock is, it's the same thing as if you live on the eastern seaboard and you get what we call a nor'easter, only it's worse than a nor'easter. And it can go for days and drop the temperature down to like minus 34 Celsius or something like that. I don't know what the minus is. I don't think it's saying right now, because right now my laptop says we are at 22 degrees Fahrenheit. So we can tell because I'm on this side of the house, which faces the north. The temperature on this side of the house is way different than the side where the bathroom and the bedroom and the craft room is. The craft room and the bedroom are nice and toasty and warm, but on this side, do you see I have a sweater on? You never see this ever. Katie has a sweater on because she's chilly. Oh, so anyway, yeah. So, I have a couple things to fill you in on, but I'm waiting. I'm kind of waiting for people to drift in before I tell you what we did yesterday. I'm sure, I don't know how many people saw my community post about what me and Nikolai did last night. I posted a picture. I don't know if you saw it, but some of y'all are probably happy campers because we spent an hour in the craft room yesterday or last night. I got a well, you know what, Shonda, you know what triggered me to go in there?
What's that?
I had I run my rerun a playlist from my channel on the other browser, and we were
Okay.
on one of those videos where people were talking about the craft room and giving suggestions, and I think you and a couple other people that were sewing with us that day, and they were all making suggestions. And I got up and said, honey, can you come with me? And I picked up some boxes that I was going to put at the road for garbage pickup and walked into this craft room. I said, will you help me clear off the top of this thing? And he did. We cleared the whole top of it off. There's a couple things left on it. You'll probably saw that from the picture I posted on the community tab. But we had a big garbage bag full of, I am shocked, to be honest. I had containers like this. There was a cup actually, and it was packed full. I mean, literally cram packed full of pencils and pens. And I had another container where it was a plastic container where I had crocheted on the outside of it. It was loaded with pencils and stuff. And when we pulled all of this out and turned the container upside down like that, it was full of glass. I can't understand that. How
Gee.
big chunks of glass with something that you couldn't squeeze another pencil in would be at the bottom of a container when it's crammed full of something. Everything we picked up off the top of that cutting table had glass in it. So some things I couldn't save at all. And I just, Nicola, I could feel my chest tightening up because I was having anxiety over it because all I could see is money going down the toilet. You know, my beautiful, I had to throw anything that was this thinner or batiks or smaller. I had to throw all of it out. All of it. We have a big garbage bag full of stuff we took off the top of that table
That
because there's
sucks.
no way I could have saved it. Everything else I took off the table, we put with the suggestion of you guys, the viewers, and the ones that were sewing with me that night, talking about putting the stuff in a box, put it in a cold room, and keep on clearing out the craft room so that we can move back in there. And then over time, I could go through one box at a time instead of trying to go through all of it at once and freaking out every time I have to throw another thing away. And I think that's a good idea. So when I put stuff into the boxes, it was stuff that I can go through and see if I can't get all the glass off of it. Um, the only person that got cut last night was Nikolai, and we learned something last night. Don't drag a because I have plastic totes in there, and we dragged the tote across the top of the table without thinking about it. So the glass
Scratch
was
it.
stuck against the plastic, and when he reached under it, he had glass in his finger, which cut him. So now we know don't be dragging anything across that table. So now all we got to do is we're going to go in there for the top of the table and see if we can't suck the rest, because you can shine a light across the top of that table. And even though we went up, we pushed all the glass off, you could still see itty bitty sparkly things all across. It was like, it's so tiny you can't see it with your eye, but if you shine a light on it, you can see it.
Do you have any microfiber cloths?
Only thing that is close to microfiber is probably these wicker things.
Okay.
Just because I have Swiffer, these are Swiffer dust things, and I thought I'd try that too.
I don't know
But
how that would work. I know like regular microfiber is pretty good for stuff like that. You can use it at first dry and get off whatever you can with it dry, and then do it again with wet, and then keep alternating wet and dry until you get it all off. But if
okay,
you don't have microfiber, I'm not. Maybe a regular towel might work too.
that's true. But I also thought put the vacuum cleaner hose up there.
Yeah,
This
that's gonna
start.
get some of it, but it's not gonna get all of it.
Yeah, probably won't. And because that cutting table is made of plywood, so it's very porous. Because we didn't put no slick covering over it or anything. It's raw wood. So, and I think that's why we couldn't get all of it out, because it's like it's literally attached to the wood right now until we can figure out a way of getting it off. But that is what we got accomplished last night. We spent a little over an hour in there. Um, so y'all, check mark number one. So I'm really happy about having done that, and I didn't have a meltdown. Now there was a couple times where Nikolai says, maybe you need to step out of the room for a minute. I'm like, no, I absolutely had. And what it
Determined.
was is I I was thinking about what I was putting in the trash, and it was upsetting me. And that's when he could see that I was getting upset. And he's like, you can step out for a while and let me do it. And then finally I decided, you know what? No, I am not doing this. I am not going to let this whip my ass into the ground. So I stuck it out, and I just said, I'm not going to think about it. Dropped it in the trash. Not going to think about it. Dropped it in the trash. Not going to think about it. Dropped it in the trash. And that got me through, just having that mindset. I'm not going to think about it. Don't think
Yeah.
about it. Just do it. Just do it. So that's what happened last night. All right. Let me say hi to everyone. Well, yeah, let's do you first. Tell everybody what you're working on tonight and how you've been doing, and whatever else you want to talk about.
Hi, my name is Shonda. My channel is Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts, where I just share quilting and crochet related things that interest me. I have started posting again, so I'm working on that. And but yeah, just a relaxed channel, just kind of whatever tickles my fancy. That's what I talk about. Sometimes it's just me talking about my mental health. But I'm working on the channel. It needs some work. I need to put more time and effort into it. I really do. Um, but I'm struggling to come up with ideas. But I'm working on it right now. I'm brainstorming. If you guys have any ideas, by all means, drop them in the chat. I'd appreciate that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight, I am probably not gonna sew because Christmas is coming up, and I really need to get my Christmas crocheting completed. There's something I'm trying to get done for someone, and so I'm probably going to work on that. Probably I will be working on that. If my hands start to get tired, I might then switch to doing some sewing potentially. But right now, I'm honestly trying to work on this crochet project so that I can have it ready for Christmas.
That sounds like a good plan to me, and I like that teddy bear back there in that background.
Yeah, Adrian gets me one every year for Valentine's Day. So I
Oh,
have
that
I
one's
have
super cute.
I have quite a few. I have quite the collection.
So you like teddy bears like I do too, then? I'm gonna have to show you a couple of my teddy bears. One of my mom was a collectible from my mom,
This
but
is the
that one's super cute.
2025 one.
That's this year's.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's super cute. I just first time I noticed him being back there. All right, let's say hi to everyone in the chat. Yeah, maybe if I can. So I have Lwayne in here, and he says it's a chilly 60 degrees and cloudy in San Francisco to all you awesome quilters. And Lwayne was first in the chat today. And Cindy from Quilty Good, she says hello or good afternoon from Florida. She was second in the channel, and Kim was third in the channel, and then my husband fourth. And of course, Shonda was number 5. All right. So anyway, hey Andrea, hello Shirley, and hello Jean. Um, yeah, and I'll repeat what I was talking about a few minutes ago about what we did in the craft room last night. But let's talk about what I'm going to work on, and y'all are going to see me. I've managed to cut fabric and sew one piece just to get a feel of the pattern. So remember last night I talked about, and I need to cover up this side so I don't get copyright dinged.
You really can't. You really can't see it. Oh, you're gonna get closer. About to say. You
Yeah,
really
well,
can't see
this
it.
side I don't have any covering on the cutting, so this is the block we're going to work on. And yes, I know Andrea has already made the chocolate and or strawberries and chocolate. I love your block, girlfriend. But I'm going to do that next week. So, but today I really wanted to play with this block. This is fully paper piece. This will be block number 25, Emerald Isles. And I'm doing something similar in color. So we'll see what happens. And this is the layout of the block. It's pretty simple, but it is foundation paper piecing. I did figure out how to, it took me wasting a lot of paper to figure out how to get each piece to the proper size because of the way they put it in the PDF file. But yeah, let me see here. Shirley says pretty cold today. Currently in Anchorage is -5. Yeah, we are sitting at 22 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but we're also in the middle of a bit of rock. Since what is Lorraine talking about?
No, no, my phone is restarting, so I can't see the chat right now.
Since have the first one I got in 1996. What are you talking about? I missed something. I went back up and I don't see what you're talking about. Let me know what that was about. All right. Jean says hi. And Shirley's talking about how chilly it is. Oh, Lone Star says, teddy bear. He said he once had over 100 teddy bears since the first one got in 1996. And then Andrew says, thank you. I'm working on doing some catch up on the blocks. I just finished another one and cutting out the third. Oh, good, because I can't wait to see your blocks, Andrea. I forget who, I don't remember who it was that posted. Someone's already got 36 blocks done, which is, crazy. No, I think it's awesome, actually, not crazy. All right, so let me show you something. I am going to be using, this is one of the colors, and you'll see where this is going to come into play. I'm using this color green, and then I'm using these colors here. I'll be using this dark purple. Come on, camera, show it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. It's
really
purple in the bottom screen.
Yeah, and on the one on the laptop, it's trying to show it as blue, which I bet it's because of my ring light. So there's this dark purple. And then I'm going to be using this really pale, it's purple, different shades of purple, you could say, but it's really light. And I'll show you how that's going to work into this. So it's basically, it's like I said, it's going to be a lot like this block on, oh, and there's a turquoise in here too. Sorry, forgot about that. So you can see, now green here, they're using black here. I'm using dark purple. Then I'm going to use that light purple I showed you. And down here on this color right here, I'm using a really pale turquoise. And then right here is where I'm using that strange, this color right here. That's the color I'm going to use for right there. And it'll also be here in the center as well. Speaking of the turquoise, what did I do with it? The other part of that I was talking about is going to be, I'm going to use this color right here. Honey, something just happened to the monitor. Shonda, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you and I can still see you, but I don't know why it's making that noise.
It's this monitor. Something's going. Okay, I got it back. That the triple. What do you call that cable, honey? What's the name of that cable?
HDMI cable.
HDMI cable. Sometimes it comes loose from the monitor because I get over there fiddling around with something and it comes out of the TV or out of the monitor. So that's what I'm going to do with this. And let's see how it turns out. But I'll show you that I have sewn one piece just to get a feel of the pattern a little bit. And let me show you what it looks like so far. As soon as oh, here it is. So here's the part that has the green on it. Robin says, hi, Shonda. She also says, hi,
Robin.
And yeah, okay. So that's where we are. So I'm going to go ahead and make 3 more of these, and then we'll mosey on to the next section. I have all the pieces here, and we'll be working on that. So let me move all this aside for right now because I don't want it to get in the way of what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna move all of this out of it because I want to work with this green to start with. So I'm making a section that's the green. So I'll show you how I'm doing this. So for this right here, that's where the light color, this color is going to go. Okay.
Oh, so you're paper piecing it.
Yeah, paper piecing it. So I'm going to lay this out here, but I'm going to glue it on. I'm using, I haven't used rectangles. I can't use a square with this one. So I had cut rectangles. And all I'm going to do is take my glue stick right here, and I'm going to glue this on here where it covers the whole bottom half. And then I will trim this out so it's ready, because this, we have to sew the center on first because it's number 1. So I'm going to chain piece this. So I'll be doing all 3 of them at the same time. Yeah, so you can watch me do this like a assembly line, so to speak. So let's go ahead and I'll take this first piece, and all I'm going to do is line the rectangle up at the bottom here. And I'll put a dab of glue right here, and then I'll show you how I'm going to trim it. And for the green part, I've already pre-cut triangles, these long triangles, and they're just from pieces of the fabric that I had over there. So let's go ahead and do that. Hi, Lee. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Robin. Lee says, hi, host and panel listening as working on wiring a little LED light on the train lamp. Hey, you know, you can share your train with us over on the Greenland Quilter group if you like. Or you can email it to me one. I hate Avest. It's a program we have on my laptop for virus protection and stuff. It always likes to pop up right when you're doing something. And it's annoying because it slows the laptop down. And the reason my laptop's so slow right now is because it's overloaded with videos right now that I need to put on a hard drive. I put some on a hard drive. I just didn't finish doing it because I don't know about anybody else, but it's boring moving files. I'd rather be doing something else. But I got to clean it off at some point.
Hey, Mona. Hey, Robin.
Hi, Mona. It's good to see you, Mona.
Hey, Anfield. What's Anfield's name?
Lee.
I need to write. I'm gonna have to start writing this down. I'm horrible
Yeah,
at stuff like this.
yeah. That's Hey Dubrovka, how are you? It's good to see you. So like I said, I'm going to be chain piecing. That way we can get certain, all four sections, because there's four pieces to each section that I have to build. So we're building the one with the green with this light color here of it's like a cream color. And now what I'm gonna do, I have them glued on here. First thing I'll do is I'm going to put the 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around it, because that's going to come in handy when I start lining up the other small pieces of fabric that's got to be attached to it. So I use a regular ruler. I do have an add a quarter ruler, but I, for some strange reason, just prefer a ruler. So you just, on your ruler, there's a shading on this creative grids. Now it depends on what ruler you have, how your ruler looks. But on the creative grids, you can see they shaded the 1/4 inch seam here. So what I'm doing is I'm going to line that 1/4 inch to the edge of where I folded my paper to trim to a 1/4 inch seam allowance. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, if you want to reduce bulk here, you could go a little bit shorter than a 1/4, but I'm just showing you how to do this part of it. Then all you do after you do the first one is you fold the paper back again on the other side, because we're working with a triangle. Same thing, trim 1/4 inch. And then go to the other side, because this is 3 sides we're going to be sewing on. Fold back, put your ruler on, and trim. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all 3 pieces before we move on to the next part of this. Fold back, trim, or line your ruler up, trim. And you just, it's basically, you're repeating because once we start sewing, you'll have another step added in here, because once we start attaching number 2, it's going to be lining up, sewing, trimming, or folding back, trim, and start again. That's all. It's just this is something you can do once you know how to do it. You can do this when you need to do just mindless sewing, where you just want to sew to get you can even do this. This is a great way of getting yourself back to sewing if you're on a sojo, your sojo's not working. You can also do the same thing with scrap pieces of fabric as well. Just grab a bucket full of scraps and just sew. Don't think about how it needs to look or anything else, because scrap means you can make it as scrappy as you want to. And before you know it, you've been sewing 10 minutes. You may have been sewing an hour. It just depends on you as a person, how long you notice before you, or how long it takes you to notice, oh wait, I've been sewing this long. Anyone else come in? I didn't see come in. It's 8 weeks until we are in North Carolina for QuiltCon. Unfortunately, I won't make it to North Carolina until April. I'll be flying to the U.S. sometime in March, right before my birthday.
Have you guys bought your tickets yet?
No, I'll be buying it soon.
Yeah, I haven't bought mine either.
But I won't get to go to QuiltCon. Speaking of North Carolina, Shonda, when I get ready to make my trip to North Carolina, we should get up and have dinner together or something.
1000%.
Because I'm gonna meet up with Sherry to take her Abby's quilt top for quilting.
Okay.
And she's going to quilt it so that I can take it to California with me.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna make a trip to California too. So I'm thinking I'll probably stay in North Carolina 4 days, maybe, or 5. It depends on what kind of time frame Sherry has that I can come and start her off, and then I figured maybe I could mosey around Raleigh, because I'm gonna bring Thomas and Blaze with me, the
Okay.
grandson,
Mm-hmm.
take the museum in Raleigh.
Okay.
I think it would be great to take him see some stuff. And it's getting the two of them out of their apartment.
I think it's so important for children to travel. Like,
Yep.
I never had a lot of money, but anytime I traveled, I always brought my kids with me
Well, I'm
because
definitely.
I thought it was important for them to be able to experience that and see things. Like that was really important to me.
I agree with you. And because but the situation with Thomas, and so he's not got money, rolling around. And I think since I'm going to pick, they have spring break from April the 6th to the 10th, I think it is. So I think that's a
Okay.
good time to pick them up and take them to North Carolina with me. That way he doesn't have to miss any school, because otherwise I was going to pull him out of school. We would leave on Wednesday afternoon when Thomas got off from work, because he goes half a day on Wednesday, and he thinks he can get off like Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, and we would try to return back, Monday afternoon or something, um, on our, coming back, because we'll drive, because it's a 9-hour drive, I think, from Carrollton to Raleigh, something like that.
Okay.
And having two drivers would work because he could drive too.
Okay.
I drive the crazy part of the areas that he does, that would stress him out, and he could drive the easy parts,
Okay.
something like that. At least that's what I want to do.
Yeah, just let me know when you're going to be here. Just tell me what's the best day for you, and
Okay.
I'll take that day off work.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. Do you want to meet in Raleigh, or do you want to do something outside of Raleigh? Because I know you're not in Raleigh.
I mean, Raleigh's only Raleigh's close.
Okay.
I could like technically I'm at the edge of Raleigh in 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
So when I go to work, I work in Raleigh and it
Okay.
takes me like 30 minutes to get to work. So
Okay.
Raleigh is not a big deal. If
Okay.
that's
So
where
you
you're gonna
also know
be,
your way around Raleigh too, right?
huh?
I said, and you also know your way around Raleigh, so that would be a big
I
plus.
wouldn't say that. I use GPS to go everywhere. But there's a lot of like good restaurants and good places to eat in Raleigh, and I'm sure we can find something and find some places to walk around or whatever you want to do.
I definitely think we should do the museum, because the museum apparently is a big thing in Raleigh.
I probably haven't been.
And I think there's a botanical garden somewhere there too, isn't there?
Yep. Yeah. Yes, there is.
Do you know if there's any quilting museums around that area?
I don't know. I never looked it up.
Because my grandson's actually interested in quilting. So I
Hmm.
think I'm going to buy a sewing machine to leave at their house. And every time I come to the States, I'm going to teach him how to sew.
Oh,
He's been interested since he was 3, which is cool.
I think so too. I was like when I was like because when I found out I was becoming a grandmother, I was like, "Oh, be great if my grandkid might want to learn some of this stuff."
Mona said she can't stay, but she wanted to pop in and say hi. I
Thank
said,
you,
no,
Mona.
thank you for dropping in. But yeah, that's what I want to do. And I was thinking, on our way back from Raleigh, we're going to make a detour before we go to Georgia. We're going to go through. I have something on my bucket list that requires me to go through South Carolina. I'm going to go see my birth town.
Okay, where were you born?
I was born on the Navy base in Charleston, South Carolina,
Okay.
and I have never seen it. Not well, I seen it as a baby, but who remembers when they were first born what they
Right.
said?
That'd be pretty incredible if you could remember that, Katie.
Yeah, really. Me and my middle sister were born at the Navy base. And from what I understand, that hospital is now like an administration building or something. I'm
Nice.
kind of hoping that things can work out where maybe Myra can come with us, because Myra can get us on the base.
Mm,
Wouldn't that be cool?
that would be cool.
Because Bill is retired from the Navy. I didn't think that that was even possible. She says it is. So I'm not going to complain if she can get me on there where I can see it, because I would love to see where I was born. Those
Hmm.
those were the days when my dad wasn't off his rocker.
Yeah, I grew up in the town that I was born in, so I got to see, you know, I never had that because I was born and raised there.
Yeah, me and her were born in Charleston, South Carolina, and then I guess dad was down in Key West for the Navy doing something. I didn't even know there was a Navy base down there, but Mama says there is. There's a little military base down there. And he was stationed down there doing something at the time, and that's where my youngest sister was born. And you'd think living in Florida your whole life, you would have found a way to go see the Florida Keys. I've never been there ever.
I
I've
like
been,
I like it there.
yeah, I plan on doing it the next time I come. Um, I was hoping to do it with Nikolai, but Nikolai says he's absolutely not going to travel anytime soon,
Alrighty.
especially when we saw the newest rules coming out.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
Yeah, there's more rules. They want to see 5 years of social media.
Which
And I'm
is
like,
like who?
why? What difference does it make what's on your social media?
Yeah.
So that pretty much, he told me the other day, he's like, well, I don't guess I'm going to get to see the grandkids anytime soon, which it hurts because he really wants to see all of them.
Yeah, I bet.
He'll get to
But
see Ava when they come.
if I would
So,
if I wasn't native born, I'd be afraid to visit here right now.
yeah. So he's just going to take it easy and not come. Maybe we can get the kids, maybe we can get the rest of them to come over here too at some point. That would be cool.
Yeah.
If we could get all of them to eventually pay a visit here. I'm just happy that Lynette and Ava and Eric are going to come in July, the back end of July, and we'll be
Nice.
doing stuff with them. So looky here, I've sewed the legs on of this one. Then we'll do the same thing with the other two. Make a pillowcase with him. Yeah, that's a great idea, Sewing Wolf. Hi there. Hey, what's your first name, Sewing Wolf? You may have already told me once, and you know me, my memory is lacking. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Carrie Quilting that is a nice quilt store, Louane.
Carrie Quilting Store and Carrie, not a museum, but an awesome quilt store. How did you know that,
There's a
Lynette?
lot of quilt stores. There's a lot of quilt
Well, I
stores.
figured we would be because I'm bringing not only am I bringing Abby's quilt, I'm bringing my. You're about to hear it for the first time. I'm bringing my sugary do with me, and I need to take my sugary do with me so I can find a backing for it because I don't have anything here that I can use for backing that speaks to me. So I need to take the quilt top with me. And I've talked to Sherry, and Sherry says she's willing to quilt it um, because it's a big quilt. It's like 102 by 98, I think, something like that.
Yeesh.
It's a big one, but it's my first masterpiece. The one's hanging up right now from the 1,000 block, that's going to be number 2 masterpiece. I have to find a ruler. Hold on a minute, guys. I don't have a long enough ruler. Where is my rulers?
Yeah, a pillowcase is really a great idea because then he can actually use it, you know? And I
Yeah,
think that creates some excitement when you make something that you can actually use, you know?
exactly. And since he has a shortage of pillowcases and sheets, I definitely am going to buy him some sheets while I'm there.
Right, Sewing Wolf says her name is Noreen.
Hi, Marie.
Noreen.
Or Noreen, sorry. Um, yeah, he has a shortage of that. I was asking him the other day. I bought him some dinosaur sheets, and I'm like, why aren't they on your bed? oh, I forgot about him, Grandma. And I'm like, whoa. And so I need to find out if they ever made it to his bed because I bought him some dinosaur sheets so that he'd have more, because right now he started out with one set of sheets and now he has two sets of sheets. Thomas only has one set too, so every time he strips his bed, that means he's not got no covering on his bed until the sheets are dry. They're doing so good though. I can't really complain. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm really happy with how well they're doing. And
They've come a long way since I met you.
I know, he just had his 1 year employment anniversary at the beginning of December. He's
That's
been on the job
awesome.
a year.
That's
So not
awesome.
only so in October it was 1 year in the apartment and then a year on the job in December.
Nice.
It's the silly man forgot to ask him when does he start getting to build up vacation time. He didn't think to ask. I'm like, why not? I mean, I need to know how much vacation time you could build up by the time I come.
Is it one of those places that make you wait a year?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was. I need to go look at. I might be able to see some of their benefits online. I'm not sure.
Who does he work for?
He works for Tanner. I need to know the exact name. I have to go look it up because they also own the. Apparently, they're a family-owned business. It's been a family-owned for 104 years, but they also own the hospital. Apparently,
Okay.
oh, it's Tanner something. Hang on a minute. Tanner. They're called Grocery Company C.M. Tanner Grocery Co. Incorporated in the and yeah, they've been in business for 140 years.
Okay.
So they're a family owned company. He said he got a 50-cent raise. So I don't know if
Hi,
that's good or bad.
Jaja.
So I don't know if a 50-cent raise is good or bad in this day and age. So that means he's making $12.50 an hour. That's still not a living wage, but it's better than nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's better than nothing, but
That's
that's
right.
rough. That's rough to survive on these days. There
Yep.
was a time when 12 bucks an hour wasn't bad. Like I remember I was a single parent making 12 bucks an hour and I was able to pay. I didn't have a car payment. That's how I was able to get by, but I
Yep.
was able to pay my rent, utilities, cell phone bill, daycare and, and everything.
I'm glad he don't have a car payment. He would be in trouble if he had a car payment because you know how much he pays for insurance in Georgia? He has
No.
never had a ticket, never been in an accident. My son, he's 37 years old and never had a ticket, ever. And he pays $185 a month on insurance for his car.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And I'm like,
In-
I thought when
Insurance has
men,
gone up though. Insurance has gone up a lot.
yeah, I thought when men hit 30 something that the cost of insurance would go down, but I guess not in Georgia.
It does, but just in general, insurance is very high right now.
Well, I know it's very insane. It kind of ticks me off, if you know what I mean,
Yeah,
because that's a big chunk of money coming out of his check every month, and he has to have it because otherwise they'll take off his license and everything else away.
I know. I just so I just realized today. So my son is trying to get his driver's license, right?
Uh huh.
And so he was gonna, use my car to take his road test. So they needed, a copy of my registration.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't find it. So I went to go online to print it or to get a duplicate copy. And I realized when I went to go ask for a duplicate, it said this account is not eligible for a duplicate. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I looked and I realized that my car is not registered. I've been driving dirty for like a year.
Ouch. Will
I've
you
been
be
riding dirty.
will you be
I
fined
have
for
an
that?
expired tag. My license plate is expired.
Oh no.
I had no idea.
You're lucky you didn't get caught, girlfriend,
I know.
because that would have been expensive.
I know. Well, what they would have did, they would have gave me a ticket, of course.
Yep,
And then they would have took the license, they would have took the tag and left me on the side of the road. That's
yep,
what they would
pretty
have did.
much. That's the way they do things. Instead of letting you try to resolve the issue within a certain period of time, they're just,
But I wouldn't have been able to drive though. I'd have had to have somebody come pick me up.
yep,
So
exactly.
I'm like, okay. So tomorrow I got to get an inspection first because it's not even like I could be like, oh yeah, and then just do it immediately. You have to have
Yeah,
a safety inspection, the emissions inspection first. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to drive down to um one of those inspection places and get an inspection. And then once I have that, I can go online and pay my property tax and renew my registration.
that's
But I
why
had no idea.
yeah, that's why I've been staying on top. Like next month is Thomas's birthday, which means it's time to buy tags again.
But
And see,
normally we get something in the mail. Like I normally get something in the mail. And I'm wondering if to save money they're not doing that anymore. I don't know, but I
oh,
normally get a thing in the mail to remind me, and I did not get that.
that's weird. Yeah, because they do send a notice. I'm wondering about that because Thomas used the before he had his apartment and he had to switch his car over to Georgia and everything. He had his counselor helped him get all that done, and they used the address to the where the counselor works. And I'm wondering if anything's going to go there about that. I need to talk to Thomas about that because I've been staying on top of making sure his insurance stays paid, and because I don't want any reason for them to pick on him, you know?
Right.
He doesn't
He's
need
got
that in his
enough
life
going
when
on.
he,
He's got enough to think about.
yeah, exactly. He's doing so good right now, and I don't want to see him get knocked down because of some high price fine, you know?
Right. I know here if your insurance lapse, I think it's like $50.
Yeah, and every time after that, it goes up or something like that.
I think ours is I don't know if ours goes up. I think it's just a flat. I don't know. I never read the rules. I just know it's $50 because it happened to me once.
Insurance should not be so expensive.
Muriel says insurance lies about rates going lower. It never happens. You are right, Muriel. It never
It
happens.
doesn't. It keeps going up. We went. We got a thing from a Geico said, "Come with us," and we went and looked, and it's $145. Yes, it would save $45 moving him from Progressive to Geico, but surely there's got to be somewhere else even cheaper than that. If he lived in Florida, it'd be less than $100. Florida's different when it comes when unless something's changed in the last 14 years.
Yes, insurance is high everywhere, Katie. It's high.
That's just
I've
insane.
watched my own insurance just go up, and it's like I'm getting older. My car is older, but my insurance is increasing. So
Yeah, I mean, how does the working class and the lower class handle this if they keep going up on stuff? You know, it's like this I call it the domino effect. If you can't afford insurance because it's so high, and even if you've never had a ticket in your life and you let it expire, then they take your tags away, and then you're trying to go to work. You need your car to go to work. So if you get caught driving to work with no tags on your car, then you get your butt arrested and your car gets impounded. So
yeah,
someone of limited means is screwed.
yeah, it's not fair. It's not right. It's not right.
Not.
Muriel says hers is $86 a month in Florida. Is that liability only or is that full coverage?
Miriam, what kind of coverage do you have for 86 a month? Because that sounds more like Florida to me. When I had a car that was too old to have full coverage, I carried liability, uninsured motorists, and personal. I think it's PPI or whatever, personal protection something. Because I was rear-ended by an uninsured motorist, and guess whose insurance company fit the bill for all my medical bills? My own insurance company.
In North Carolina, we have to have those things no matter what. We must always have liability and
Yeah.
uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, like 100% of the time.
Yep. Because if you don't, you could be totally ruined. If
they won't even let you get your license without it. So my son had to pay for an insurance policy. He was like, "But I don't have a car." I was like, "Yeah, but if you have your license, then the assumption is at some point you're going to drive, and they want you to be insured." And I said, "And you can't drop it either, because if you drop it, then my insurance company will find out, and they'll put you on my insurance company, on my insurance."
Wow.
Because we had that happen before, where
I had asked Lynette about that because I was driving their truck last year when I was driving all over the place because I don't have a car anymore. There's no need for me to own a car. And she says, "Mom, it covers you because they put some extra something so I could drive it." I think I had to provide my driver's license number. When they looked it up, I didn't have any kind of driving. The last time I had a ticket was so long ago, I don't even know if it shows up on the record or not.
I doubt it.
It's probably the last time I got a ticket, it was probably 30 years ago, maybe.
Most of that stuff only goes back 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, I have nothing on mine, so that's why she wasn't too worried about her insurance going up a little bit. They made sure that the truck was covered just in case, because you never know with drivers, other drivers beside yourself.
Yeah, my son actually crashed my car recently, and I can't do anything about it. I can't even get it covered.
Muriel says she has full coverage. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that low. Maybe Florida is low like that.
Yeah, they've always been low like that. If you now,
Maybe because their property taxes are so, or their property insurance is so friggin' high, they cut y'all a break on the
well, the other thing is
have
if
that
you have a
wind and
clean
hail.
driving record, if you have a clean driving record in Florida, you get credited for that. Because when they do the background check on you, if they find you've not had a speeding ticket or a parking ticket or nothing, that your record for like however many years is clear, you get a discount because of that too.
Yeah, we do too. I don't. Let's see. Have my insurance?
But it's always been high for men in Florida because, you know. Hey, Linda. She says, "Good evening, Katie and Shonda, and all in the chat. Workday is done and eating fish tacos for dinner and relaxing."
Oh, fish tacos sounds so good.
Did someone else come in here I didn't say hi to besides Muriel? Which now I'm saying hi, Muriel. I'm sorry. I don't think so. Okay. I think this block is going to look really
Jaja was in here.
Yeah, I thought it was all. Is she stay in here? Or is she gone already?
I'm not sure. If she's gone, she didn't say goodbye if she's gone.
Yeah, let me see if she's here. Oh, she's not. She's gone. Muriel says she has a perfect driving record. That's why her insurance is low.
Well, that explains a lot. I definitely do not have a perfect driving record.
I'm surprised Thomas drives like a grandma.
There is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you can't drive in Jacksonville like that. You're going to get run over and cause an accident. There's a saying about when you drive in Jacksonville. Don't drive like everybody else. You're going to cause an accident. And that's worse.
You cannot pay me to drive down there.
Jacksonville.
You could not pay me to drive in Miami. You could not pay me.
I've never been to Miami, so I don't know that. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm sure it's awful.
You could
I am
not
gonna,
pay me.
but driving on the outskirts of Atlanta, oh my God, there's 6 freaking lanes,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
bad too. I
most,
make Adrian drive
most,
every time we're
yeah,
in Atlanta. I'm like,
it's the
you're
most
driving, buddy.
intimidating thing because you have semi trucks driving in 3 of those lanes, I think, and it's like, why?
Well, he was born, in Middle Georgia, so he spent a lot of time go in Atlanta and going back and forth. So I make him drive when we're out there. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember the first time I had to drive on the outskirts of Atlanta. I was on my way up to what part of Georgia was it? Because I was going to a Shunson show, and first time I did, I'm like, this is the most scariest highway I've ever seen in my life. I would rather drive in Jacksonville than drive on the outskirts of Atlanta. And then going to Thomas's place, we drove on the outside of Atlanta. I told Nikolai, I'm like, I really don't like driving on a 6 lane highway because it just literally and you have to pay attention to every. You don't pay attention to what's on your right and to your left. You have to pay attention to all of it because you never know when someone might crash in front of you. It was definitely nerve wracking. I know when I was driving through Jacksonville, Nikolai's like, the speed limit says that. I said, honey, you have to drive this way in Jackson. And he's like, why? I said, because if you don't drive like everybody else does, you're going to cause an accident. That's the thing about Jacksonville. You do what everybody else is doing. Well, won't the cops? I said, it depends on how fast someone is going in front of you.
Sounds like Miami.
Yep,
They are out there, man. They are out there.
they are. Because it's pretty darn crazy in Jacksonville. And they finished part of that new bypass. And I really like that bypass because that bypass means you can go around Jacksonville instead of through Jacksonville, which if you're going to the beaches, it benefits you to go around it because you don't have to go over through all that congestion. But I wanted to take him across the Dames Point Bridge, but it didn't work out where I could. We were too far east of it or something, and it would have took too long to get over there because that Dames Point Bridge is huge. Because it crosses over the St. Johns River like the Buckman does. It's way bigger than the Buckman. But the Buckman's always congested because you go right by Orange Park, and Orange Park is always just insanely insane. And some things never change, Shonda. When you go through there to go to the Buckman, it's always road work going on in that area. It's just crazy. I'm like, when we went last year, and I said, they still have road work going on going toward the Buckman. It was just crazy.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back, Katie. I got to go check on my ham.
Okay, sweetie, go ahead. Linda says, when I first settled in St. Augustine, we had 2 lane highways. Now they are 6 lanes, and there are some 8 lanes. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been to St. Augustine. It's been, last time I went to St. Augustine was with Nikolai, and that would have been in 2009. And then Luane says, my friend from Portugal was stopped at the side, stopped at the was stocked at the size of the road highways in Texas. He said they are huge. And then Laura says, hey, Katie, Shonda, and everyone, I've been listening and letting the live run tonight. Unfortunately, I have a bad migraine tonight. I hope you get to feeling better, hon. I know you've been having 2 or 3 days of a bad day, so we're thinking of you. Big hugs and sending prayers to help ease that pain in your head. So I know how it is with a migraine. It sucks. Now what I'm going to do is you can see I now have these really, I know it doesn't look right now. So I cut these triangles bigger to sew on here so that when I lay them upward, they're going to lay up here like they're supposed to. So right now it looks like a hot mess. I'm going to go over and press these down, and then we are going to trim these sections so that they look like this one. All right, let's go get these pressed. What? Something going on over there?
Oh yeah, well, I've been attacked twice.
Which one are you playing?
Scrappy.
Oh, so you got killed. Did you get killed or just your shit been damaged?
Killed.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
I know, but I'm about to report it to my mates. I mean, my friends, telling me that the first one was legitimate, but the second one now is illegal attack. You have some kind of rules that.
Oh, there's rules of engagement for that?
Yeah.
Oh, got you.
I can collect materials. If I collect materials, then I can do them with inside the protective area.
Mm-hmm.
If I've overseeded the protective area, then it's legal.
Oh.
But this time the attacker did it again, but I am under that protective limit, which means it's illegal that what he did.
Uh-oh. So what will happen out of that?
Right now, I'm gonna give the information to my crew. I mean, my friends here. This time, it is an illegal attack.
Do they kick the person out or what do they do about it?
The person is from another alliance.
Oh, got you.
If they didn't respond to me, or his commander didn't respond to me, we might attack him.
Oh, got you.
Because of the violation.
Okay, so it's part of the game rules then. You know what? I got my medicine filled today, y'all. And I also got a refill of my Tradlin because I haven't had Tradlin for a hot minute because I ran out. I didn't have to go see the doctor today to get a refill on my Tradlin. But she did say that when the holidays were over to probably bring myself in. Yeah, because I'm having new symptoms that are coming from my lower back, and we need to find out why. But I'm doing good on my pain levels. We've kept pain levels below a 5, which is good for me. And I've been off Tradlin, not taking much of it actually, which is good for me because that means that I'm keeping it managed pretty good. That's where I am on mine. All right, so now I have all 4 of these done, and I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna put them on the iron one more time. All right, so we have 4 of these made now, so I'm gonna set these aside. And what we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and build this out next, and then we'll do the bigger piece last, because there's 4 of these big pieces right here. So, okay. We'll put these over here, and let's go ahead and start on these, and we're gonna need purple and light turquoise. And I need to move all these pieces out of here. That goes in there. So let me clean this up a little bit so I don't have it in the way. I'm just going to pile this up somewhere else. All right. We'll start with the bigger piece of this purple. I have 2 leftover pieces here. What I want to check out is see if I can make rectangles for this part or not. I should be able to. Yep. And we can make rectangles. I'm just basically going to make rectangles for all these pieces and make them a bit oversized. And I won't be wasting all the pieces I cut off of this, because I will reuse them on my, I have small scrappy blocks I've been working on and off over the last year. And so these really smaller pieces will get used in that. So there's not going to be any wastage going on here. It may seem that way, but it won't be, because I'll be using it. I'll need a bigger ruler again.
Laura has a bad migraine.
Yeah, she said she was having a migraine, which is not good. Let's see. I want to make this 3.5.
All right. Like I said, I have reported the incident to my shipmates, I mean crewmates. One of them reported it, and it's a dead flow channel IQ has there, so I'll figure out what we need to do.
Okay.
So it might be that we're going to attack him big time.
You what you sow.
Yeah, because it was an unprovoked attack twice now. The first, as I said, the first one was legal. But the second one, I'm not going for that.
So,
oh boy. Oh.
All right, now let me see. I'm gonna figure out this turquoise.
It seems to be that we are at war with them.
Someone started a war?
No, apparently we are at war with them.
Okay. I know this might seem a little unconventional, how I'm doing this. But you'll see how it'll work itself out, because I did it this way. I might as well just leave that on there. Trim a little piece off of here so it'll not have that fold in it, because it'll leave a bigger piece over for me to use. All right, let's go ahead and start on these now that I have pieces cut to use. All right, so what I'm gonna do, so we have 3 pieces on this, and number 1 is in the middle, which will be the purple, and then I'm going to use the light turquoise on both sides. So what I'll do first is I'll go ahead, like you've been seeing me do, I'm going to glue on the purple, just a tiny dab of glue, and then trim the seam allowance on both sides, and then I can start attaching these as I go along. Katie, you said that you write lines on the back of your... Yeah, I do. I marked the lines on the back. I didn't have time to use my sewing machine for this. Have you tried using a tracing wheel? Yes. I actually have one in my drawer here somewhere. And I can't get it to it doesn't want to roll on the paper right. And it could be that the teeth are not big enough or the teeth are not long enough on this, because I tried doing that with this. Yeah, it... Or well, this is a different kind of paper I'm using here, so maybe it works better with this paper. We'll see. I have to be careful though. I'm worried about putting holes in my cutting pad. Let's do all of them. I know I tried it with regular printer paper and it was not very good. But I'm using paper piecing foundation paper here that I printed onto that I had bought. I located it out of my sewing room. And it seems to be easier to work with. Let's see how this goes. We'll see if it works as well as using a sewing machine to do it.
Sorry about that. Trying to cook dinner.
Are you cooking a smoked ham or what are you doing?
Don't ask me. What do you mean?
Really? Is it a ham shank or is it?
Yeah, it's a ham shank.
Okay, because there's smoked picnics, there's ham shanks.
Yeah, it's the ham shank. It's the one. It's like the one that's already pre-cooked.
Okay, so what are you
You're basically heating it up for 3 hours.
Okay. Did you put anything on the outside of it, or are you just
That's what I just did. So normally for the first hour and a half, I just leave it alone, and then I'll go ahead and put the glaze on. So that's what I was doing. I was taking it out, draining the fat that came off the ham, and then adding my glaze.
Yeah. You know what I like to do with mine? I like to put pineapple rings all over the top of it.
Yeah, and so I had the pineapple cut up, got a fresh pineapple. I cut it up before the live. So it's ready to go. Took the ham out, put the glaze on, and put the bitch right back in the oven and forgot to put the pineapple on. And I didn't feel like taking it back out.
Sorry, I know that's not funny.
So I'll probably go check on it in like 30 minutes and then put the pineapple on then.
Looks like Lee says, great stream. Have a great Christmas, everyone. See you on the next live stream. It's getting late in the UK. See you later, Cindy Scarlett. And Linda, I've just tried that wheel out on the, maybe it was just the paper I was having trouble with, because this is actual foundation paper, and I actually can see where I ran that wheel over this. So we'll keep on messing around with this. So maybe it was because it just doesn't do well with printer paper. Maybe that's what the problem is. I knew I had some foundation paper in my sewing room somewhere, and I finally found the whole pack of it. The only thing I don't like about this paper, this type of paper that I bought, is it seems smooth. Do you know what I mean by that? Your fingers like slide across it really easy. And it's like, ow, I don't want it doing that. But outside of that, it's decent paper. All right, we need glue. And I ran out of my regular glue stick. I forget. I got it in a fat quarter shop box, I think, and I actually like that one better than I do this one. This 505 is good, but
I don't think I've used
the problem is you have to wash the quilt to get the glue off.
Oh.
It doesn't go away when you run an iron across it.
I've never used the 505 glue stick.
Yeah, it's the first time I tried it. Someone recommended this, so I ordered it. And yeah, that's the only thing I like about it. And if you don't watch out with your irons, you can, Sean, you can scorch this glue with your iron.
Oh, that would tick me off.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that. But it does say you can use it on fabric.
I just use Elmer's school glue. Maybe
I should get Elmer's because this is ideal for holding your fabric provisionally and precisely in place while sewing of embroidering. It avoids the use of pins. It does not stain the fabric and disappears when washed. So I didn't know you have to wash it to get it out. Ironing, if you put your iron on there and leave it 1 second too long, it scorches it.
I don't know. I don't know if Elmer scorches or not. I've not scorched anything, at least not yet. But I know it does stay in the glue stays in the quilt until you wash it. But I never really cared about that. That's normally the first thing I do anyway. Once I get done with a quilt, the first thing I do normally is throw it in the washing machine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about having to wash it. I just didn't know it was going to scorch it. And I left the iron sitting there for like 1 second too long, and I found brown paper on one side, and I knew it was the glue that scorched it. That got scorched, not the paper. Because I've left it sitting on paper before and not do that, you know? All right, we got one trimmed. Let's get these next 3 done. But for right now, until I can order a refill for my little glue stick, I can't think of the name of it at the moment. It's weird. Some of these things, because I don't use them enough, I can't think of the names of them. But it came in a sew sampler box. It's something that Kimberly uses when she's paper piecing.
The pencil, the one.
Yeah, it looks like a little pencil. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I got that in a fat quarter shop.
Yeah, and I know I got mine there, and I know I have a refill of it. I just kind of don't know where I put it. It's probably in the sewing room. I'm just saying. I found a couple things yesterday. I'm like, oh, I need this.
I mean, but that's progress, Katie, because you can joke about it.
Yeah. I'm really proud of myself that I did. I am really happy that we accomplished that yesterday, and I didn't freak out in the process. I mean, I felt my chest was really tight. I was telling him, he's like, I can see your anxiety has arisen. Yes. But I just didn't. I decided I wasn't going to let it quit me yesterday. And when I tried, the interesting thing is once we got the table cleared off, and I was going to go, I said, maybe we could come mess with this corner. And he looked at me, he says, out. He says, out. You've done enough for one night. Because I think he didn't want me to, push a button or something. So tomorrow we'll mess with it again. Or either later after the live tonight, we'll get in there and mess around. I do know I need to find some more boxes. I'm scared of what else I'm going to find after seeing all that stuff on top of that table the way it was. We also found we found itty bitty tiny, it's like pebbles almost, but they look like they're plastic or something. They're itty bitty. They're so, I mean, they're like the size of the tip of a pencil. Like a mechanical pencil. That's how small they are. And they're everywhere. Yeah. And then there's these funky looking little white plastic things. We have no idea. We've been picking them up left and right. We have no idea where they came from. They must have got blown into the window.
Could it be like that pellet stuffing that they put in stuffed animals sometimes?
Yeah, it looks a lot like stuffing, that little plastic stuff. You know what I mean? but I don't know what it would have come from because I don't have anything with that in it. And I'm thinking, so if this was in our wind, do we have this crap in our lungs? I think it might, maybe it was something inside those pipes of that trampoline.
So Muriel said that Elmer's is good, and she's used the regular one, not the purple one. Same here, the regular.
Okay, I'll have to
That
look
she
into
took
it.
advantage of tax-free school supply sale and bought a ton of it.
Yeah,
And
Lane, I can't use spray of any kind because anything you spray into the air is, which means you aerosolized it and it makes little droplets, and I don't need that crap getting into my lungs because I have bad lungs already. And so anything I can, sometimes I think me pressing fabric messes with my lungs because sometimes I get, like I have to use my inhaler. I can smell, what's weird, Shonda, is when I open a cotton cuts box and I can smell perfume on the fabric, which means someone was using hand lotion when they were folding the fabric, or they had perfume on their skin and it managed to get off on the fabric.
because you got a sensitive nose, Katie.
Yep. And I've taken Nikolai. Nikolai can smell it. But Nikolai and I are a bit sensitive to certain things. We're sensitive to cigarette smoke's one of them. You can smell a girl a mile away walking toward you if she drowned herself in cologne.
I just have a personal pet peeve against overpowering cologne. Like I feel like because I wear perfume and Adrian wears cologne all the time, but I shouldn't be able to smell you from across the room.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be able
exactly.
to smell you before I see you.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it is here. We can smell them before we ever see them.
Yeah,
It's like,
I don't like that. It's just so offensive. Like
yeah,
to me, that's just as bad as body odor. Like I don't
mhm.
want to smell you. I feel like scent is a very intimate thing, and I don't want to smell strangers. I don't. It it gives me the ick. I
And
used
I,
to work with a lady that she was probably my age, a few years younger than me maybe. And she used to layer it on thick. Thick. You could smell her from like down the hall at work.
yeah,
Like if I went into the elevator, I could tell if she had just been in there. Even though I
makes,
can't see her, I like it would just linger.
yep. It makes you
And
think,
it
was she
wasn't a
trying to
bad
cover up?
smell. I just
Yep,
didn't want to smell it.
yep. I've only ever been able to wear one or two types of cologne to start with without triggering my asthma. And I have a bottle of it in the house, but I don't even know the last time I even dabbed a little bit on my wrist because
I
my
just
husband
treated
is
myself to
fine
my
with,
absolute favorite perfume.
which one?
It's called Flower Bomb.
I like the one by Christian Dior called Dune, which they no
That's
longer
a
make
great.
anymore.
I haven't even brought it upstairs yet.
Oh, look at you. You haven't opened it?
No, I've opened it, but I just keep the box is so pretty. So after I used
Look
it,
at you.
I put it back in the box.
Oh, look at you. Oh, it even has a little, oh, cool.
Hmm. It's very expensive perfume, but once a year Sephora will do like 20% off.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was they do the gift sets. It's normally I find that the perfume is always cheaper in the gift set.
Uh-huh.
Because I was able to get the big bottle and those two small bottles for cheaper than the price of one big bottle.
Well, that makes good sense.
I think
Uh,
that that big bottle by itself is like $180.
yeah, it sounds like my expensive cone I like.
And I was
Um,
able to get that whole gift set for 110, I think.
I don't know if you remember, I know you're a little bit younger than me. Um, you remember when Jovan was a perfume company?
Yes.
They had a cologne.
Jovan Musk.
Yeah. Do you remember they used to have a cologne called Andron?
No, I don't remember that one.
So Andron was one of those colognes that works with pheromones from people. And they have one for
Okay.
men and one for women. And I loved wearing that because it was never overpowering, but you would see men turn around and look because they could smell it.
I used to like the Jovan Musk. It was cheap because I was young. It was
And the
cheap.
musk I didn't like so much.
I love anything musk, and so I loved that stuff. I used to buy that all the time. And my little spray from the CVS.
I think it's funny when you like a cologne and then it just disappears completely out of the market. It's kind of like
Yeah,
it's like the cologne I was talking about by Christian Dior called Dune. That one I love too, but now you can't even find it. So I have a bottle that's like 75% full of it. And I don't know if it loses its scent over time or
it
not.
turns. It turns.
Yeah.
It
So
turns. That's why I started like when I buy my good cologne or good perfume, I just wear it every day no matter what. Because my grandmother, like, she would get really expensive perfume for Christmas from
mhm.
like her husband or her daughters, and she wouldn't want to wear it because she didn't have any place nice to wear it. And then
Yeah.
what would happen was it would turn and it wouldn't smell good anymore and it wouldn't smell the same. So
Yeah.
we're like, look, you just need to start using it. So that's anything I buy, I use it.
Yeah.
My
Mine's
absolute
yeah.
favorite perfume, I gotta see if you can still get it, but it was called Calyx by a company that went out of business a long time ago called Prescriptives.
Mhm.
And then another company bought it and brought it back. And I bought a bottle, I think two bottles. And then I kind of stopped wearing perfume for a while. And then I found the flower bomb. So I don't know if they still make it. I'm so curious. I gotta look that up.
We'll have to look that up
I'm gonna
and
look it
see
up.
if they still
I'm
have
so
it.
curious. I used to love that. It had a very kind of green kind of smell,
Mhm.
and I used to love it.
We're coming along with this piecing.
Oh, that's who bought it. Clinique bought it. Clinique bought it. So you can
Oh,
still get it.
gotcha. Clinique used to put out some really nice perfume too.
They did. They really did. And that's much cheaper. That stuff is only $60.
Yeah. I don't have this lined up right. Darn it. I keep sticking the pin inside my skin of my finger. It's so silly. So what are you guys working on? Y'all are very quiet in the chat. What time is it anyway?
5:56.
So we only been an hour and a half live, so I know that there's no one doing a live right this minute. Not that I know of anyway.
I do have to leave on time today.
Okay. What time did
'Cause
you need to leave?
so this 7:30.
Okay, gotcha.
Because that way, because Adrian, we're gonna watch a game tonight. It starts at 8, and I need to finish cooking dinner.
What
So I
game
can
you
do
gonna
30
watch?
minutes. It's I'm watching in solidarity. It's some high school, some college football game, I guess.
Oh, got ya.
I really don't watch college sports, but I'll watch with him in solidarity sometimes.
Anyone happen to know where the Jacksonville Jaguars are in the standings?
I believe they're out.
They're out already? Wow.
Thought so. Let me double check. I was looking at the standings Thursday. Yeah, yesterday because the game was on yesterday and I was looking
Mhm.
at it.
I wish they would win just once. You know what I mean? They spent all that money to build that big, huge arena and everything, and they have yet to get to the Super Bowl in all the years that they've been around.
Oh no, no, they're not out. They're still in it.
They're still in it. Does it
Still
give
in
the
it.
ranking?
Hold on.
They had one year where they were so close, and then someone messed up going to the playoffs, and then they screwed up and got kicked out because they, didn't win.
They're still very much in it.
Oh, good. We'll see what happens then. Because if they make it to the playoffs, I'll see if I can find a way to watch the playoffs.
Yeah, they haven't clinched, but they're still in it.
Oh, good. We'll see what happens then.
I have a new pet
this week.
Oh, what kind of pet do you have, my love? That's what kid is this one from?
That's from the
Look.
What is that? Was it a little octopus?
Yeah. From a Lego kit. What's it from, honey?
It's
Oh, look, it would look cool right here on the outside of my sewing machine.
diving.
It's from the a little mini diving kit. Oh, I could put this on the outside of my sewing machine. And that would make everybody say, what the hell is that?
It looks like this.
They've got a 98% chance of getting making it to the playoffs, Katie.
That's really good. We'll
Yeah.
wait and see what happens. That's cool for me.
What?
I think Trevor Lawrence had a really good game last week. The quarterback.
Well, that's good.
Well, I still have my orca.
No, I have your orca.
I know where it is. I can get it.
I still have your orca. It's still under arrest.
No, it's not.
You shouldn't have let him bite me on the ear. Hey, welcome back, Andrea. She says the block I'm working on is a churn star. The one I finished earlier was a pivot point. You're on a roll. And then Muriel says, I'm just relaxing before I go to work tonight. Hey, Carrie, welcome, welcome. And then Andrea says, howdy, Carrie, and anyone else who came in after my first howdy. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 4 of these over to the iron. Make sure that they are pressed along that seam line. And then I'm going to trim it off and we'll put the other side on. And we'll have this part of this done when we sew the other side on. Or I could just leave this like this and then trim it all at once. I might just leave it on there and save me a step. All right. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna leave it. Uh-oh. We still need for the other side. I'm gonna have to cut some more. Well, dang. How many more do I need? 2 more. Okay. Why I have this other piece of scrap out? Because I knew I probably would need it. All right. Let me see how I can do this so I can cut 2 at once. Let's try not to waste so much. Let's cut this.
I'm going to be crocheting all night tonight and tomorrow. I am behind.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Do you know how far behind I am on the channel so long? Because I am not in the mood for sewing it, which is sad. Because I have, look, check this out. For those who didn't see me talk about it last night, actually, I keep running over something, but I don't know what it is I'm running over. For those who didn't see this last night, I started on the 12-inch blocks for Abby's quilt for the snail trail.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see those.
Well, you know how I was talking about I probably will goof up at least one of them. if I'm not nothing, I am consistent, let me tell you, because you're about to see my mess up. And it was on the first one. It is silly how I caused it. So first of all, I should have looked at the book and looked at the instructions about the snail trail, which means I didn't. So I thought I was supposed to be sewing on these 4 squares, just like paper piecing. And then when I got the first 2 sewed on, I'm like, wait, how am I going to sew number 3 and number 4 on as a 4 part? And I'm like, okay, well, this is really stupid. I don't know how to do it like that. So I go and I look at a book. You were actually supposed to make 4 of these. So I took it off, made 4 patch, and then what does Katie do? Katie goes and sews it on the wrong side, or turns to. So basically, you'll see the right one. I put this turquoise block in the wrong position. Hang on. See how it's sitting? It's supposed to be up there. So it means that the snail would go around like this.
Right.
And because this is not up there and this one's up there, the whole thing, this is the mess up. And I got all the way to this part before I realized I made a mistake.
Dang.
This part. Yeah. I didn't catch it when I was way down here before I went and trimmed these 2 triangles. So this is what it's supposed to look like.
Gotcha. Looks good though.
It does. So I got 3 of these made. So I gotta remake the other one. I sometimes I just crack myself up, I think. I don't know why I do it, but I do it. You know, it's pretty funny. At least I can laugh about it though, not get mad. When I realized it, I'm like, really? Just for once, can we not make a mistake?
Apparently not, because I know I can't.
No, me and my angle challenge self. Carrie, what are you working on? So I put another poll for another word. What is the modern equivalent of the word Terry? Option 1 was Terry spelled with an E. Option 2 was tur. Option 3 was delay. And option 4 was a tumor. No one has voted on the tumor one. 3% has voted on Terry with the E, and 9% turf with 9%, and delay got 88% so far. And I'll tell you what the answer is. I know some of y'all already know what the answer is, because the word Terry is in the Bible. So I already knew what that meant. All right, let's get this other side sewn. I've been messing around too long. Let's get this other side sewn on so we can trim this up. So as you can see, I have one side on here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put another turquoise on the other side. And that's what that'll look like. And this camera really makes that look like a blue when it's not. That is so weird to me. I think it's the ring light that's causing it, because the laptop don't know what to do, or the laptop just has a sucky camera one. Carrie says, I am quilting fabric to make a backpack. Hey, Andy, what's up? Look who's here.
Hey, Andy.
Andy's here from True Blue Quilts. All right, let's get these all pinned on here so I can sew them on. And that'll leave one more set of 4 to do, and then we'll be ready to start sewing this block together. I think this block is probably going to look pretty nice. I got to make sure I don't make more than 18 of these that doesn't have a background on them. because I need 18 with the background and 18 without a background. All right, got that one pinned. Let's do the next one. Andy, what are you working on? Are you working on anything tonight? All right, one more. Andy says she's on her way to a late night sewing session at her local quilt shop. Decided to take her 3-yard quilt. I shared it on my lives a couple times. I'll go have a peek at that. That'll be fun going to sew with other people.
I think so too. I do miss that. I need to go check out what my local quilt shop's got going on.
Yeah, I wish I had a local one to sew with. I would love that.
I know they used to have classes and stuff like that, and I used to go to the classes just so I could, you know, be around other people. That was during the pandemic.
Yep.
I haven't been back in a while. They're about, because it's like a 40, how long is that ride? Maybe 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, I think. Not that bad.
Is there, since we've been talking about rolling and stuff, is there a place where I can rent a spot to sew binding onto Abby's quilt with it, with a sewing machine?
I don't know that.
Because once Sherry quilts it, that leaves binding to do on it. And I need a sewing machine to do that with.
Let you use one of mine.
You gonna invite me to your house?
It's messy here, but I don't think you want to sew where I sew.
I just need somewhere to sew binding on. I don't care. Unless you're gonna let me borrow it and use it in a hotel or Airbnb, because I'm definitely gonna find me an Airbnb for us to stay in.
I was thinking it might be, I don't know what your, because I don't know what your plans are, but are you planning to do any videos while you're here?
Yes, I am.
So I didn't know, like, if you want to use one of my machines or whatever, and I can bring one of my other machines because I got enough to share.
We could do a collab together on a live. Yes,
yeah.
Count me in. We could do that together because we'd be in person.
Mm-hmm.
And we can
you can sew on your binding, and I can do whatever the heck I'm doing.
Yeah, and everybody will get to see Abby's finished quilt before I take it to California. Because once I give it to her, that's the end of it. And maybe we can find a good place to get a good photograph of it, because I want to get a good photograph of the quilting, because Sherry's doing a quilting, and I want to make sure that we get my binding on there really good, because maybe I could enter it in a virtual quilt show, you know?
Okay.
Because once I give it to Abby, that'll be the last time I see it, other than when I go visit them.
I'll let you use the Janome since you're used to it.
Yeah, I love using it. Yeah, put me in front of a Janome and I'll be perfectly content with that.
And I'll use the Juki.
Oh, that'll be fun getting to hear, because all I've ever heard the Juki on is in videos, and they seem so
you get to hear it in
videos.
person and to see see if it's too loud.
It'll give me a chance to see if I really think I need earplugs or not. That's the only reason I don't want to buy one, is because I think I'm going to need earplugs for it.
We'll test it out, and then you'll get to see.
Yep.
Because even if I run it here, the software is gonna.
Yeah, the Zoom takes care of it. But when you watch Kimberly's and Tiffany's, it's so loud.
I'll have to watch their lives. I haven't watched one of Kimberly's. Well, I ended up watching one of Kimberly's lives because I'm starting to get excited about the socialites, and she was going to be talking about it. And so she was talking about it. I think it was last Friday.
Yep.
And so I had tuned in, but if she did any sewing, I didn't stay long enough for that. So
Well, I think now she's switched over to that industrial Suki. So
okay.
that industrial one don't seem as loud as the one, the TL whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Well, TL is because that's what Tiffany uses too, is the TL one. And my God, that thing is, it's just the high pitched noise it makes. It's like, how does she not have hearing problems?
Yeah.
Because the
I'll
one
bring
thing,
the Juki so you can see how it sounds.
okay, I would love that. Because when I got this Janome, because I think that little singer soul machine, that little talent, it's also loud, and I find it being loud a little bit of a nuisance. And when we got this Janome, the first time I turned it on and actually sewed on it, I was calling Nikolai. Nikolai, come here! And he come in and says, "What's wrong?" I said, "Listen to this machine," and he did. He says, "Yeah, I can see a difference." It was so quiet. I mean, it was like different day and night between the two machines. It was amazing. My first time sewing on it. Because it's just not a, I mean, I'm sure that if I didn't have a pad up, because I have a cutting mat up underneath it to kind of buffer noise,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't it has the capability of sewing 1,200 stitches per, what is that, minute or second?
Minute.
Minute. Yeah. It may be loud if I was winding it up wide open, but I've never run it wide open ever. I'm
Yeah,
not confident
I can't sew that fast. Like when it's that fast,
either.
I can't control the fabric. No, I've
Exactly.
tried. I've tried, but I can't. I was not successful, so I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm just not confident to run it wide open, and that's why I probably have never tried.
It's just really difficult to control the fabric when you're going that fast.
Yep.
And especially for the most part, like we're doing piecing and the pieces are small. I think the only time my old Janome, the one I broke,
Uh-huh.
RIP, RIP Veronica.
That
Um,
was the 6600, wasn't it?
yes.
Okay, I thought it was.
No, no, no. It was an 8400
Oh,
QCP or
got ya.
something like that.
Okay, got ya.
So that machine, I ran that full on because I was doing the jelly roll race,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just sewing them long jelly roll strips together,
Yep.
and I ran it full out.
Last time I done a jelly roll where you're doing it like that was on the Singer. I haven't really done that whole fast strip thing. We should do that one day. I think I have another jelly roll that I need to like do away with so we can sew it. And I think that one just happens to be, oh, here it is. This is the other one that I came across that I didn't know I had. This one, look, I'm not even a Lori Holt person.
which
See
which
what it
line
is?
is that?
This one is Vintage Happy 2.
Okay.
So it hasn't even been took out of the plastic or anything. So either I bet I won this somewhere.
Either won it or it came in a fat quarter shop. Every once in a while, they'll give us a full.
Won it, or it came, yeah, or it came in a box, a subscription box of some kind. Probably Fat Quarter Shop.
I know with fat quarter shop and that the relationship with Lori Holt. I know there was a time when we did get like a full.
A full roll, yeah.
Mhm.
And that's been around a long time, so I have a serious problem when a song just rewinds itself on and on and on in my brain for 2 weeks. And all because I find that song fascinating. Someone called it a cultist video. She says, let's see. Uh, Andy says, I love having sew dates, both online and in person. And then Carrie says, I think it depends on the speed of sewing. I have the Brother PQ 1500 SL, and it's similar when I sew fast. It is louder. I use faster speed for quilting, but slower for piecing. We have one more set of these to piece, and then we'll be ready to sew these pieces together, I think. I hope. I'm kind of second guessing myself here for a minute. I don't think, I think I'll be fine. Because I know I have to use another light color in a different spot on this next set. And that's what I'm going to use. Yeah, what am I going to use? I might use this turquoise, I don't know. All right, we've got all 4 of these done now. So here's what this set looks like. So now we have this set done. And we have, hold on a minute. So far we've got this and this done. So now what we got to do is we have this really big piece to sew now, which looks like that. All right. Well, let's do that tracing wheel on these too. I hope I'm not ruining my ruler. Ooh, I might be ruining my ruler. But this ruler is getting replaced anyway because I nicked it with my blade.
Yeah, I've done that.
And I've had it a long time, so I'm just waiting on that box to come from Back Quarter Shop because I ordered a new one. Because I really like this particular size ruler. They can use it for medium to small pieces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I don't like about it is when you get down here to this 4-inch mark right here, these black circles they have here, you can't see the 7/8 mark that's right in front of the 4-inch mark. It's totally blocked off because of that black circle.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I do love my creative grid rulers, but some of the stuff is in a bad place.
Yeah. So I have to switch to a different ruler when I have to use 3 7/8 because you can't see it. Or I can't see it because it's blocked. One more, and then we're going to start. Oh, this is what I was going to use around the outside of this. Okay. See, down here, I want you to use white. I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use that light purple to go all the way around this dark purple. So it should look interesting. At least I hope so. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and cut some rectangles for these because let's see. Let me see how wide I need to do this one because I'm going to give it a 1/2 inch on each side, which means I need to do 2.5 for the triangle part of it. Oh, let's get this dark purple cut first. 2.5. And it doesn't have to be perfect because I'll be trimming these down a little bit. 4 of those. Okay, so I've got those cut. Then we're going to switch over to this other one. Now, let me see how wide. Now, these are wider, so I got to figure out how wide I want to make these rectangles. So I'm going to lay my ruler over the top. And we're going to make sure we have maybe 3/4 off on one side and 3 off the other one. And I have this ruler turned the wrong way. All right, let me find the 3/4 mark. So this needs to be 3 3/4 rectangles. All right, fold this in half like so. And we're gonna need a bigger ruler. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go over to my cutting board table real quick and cut this.
I'm gonna go check the chat. Hi, Carrie Quilts. Hi, Carissa. So Carrie said she thinks it depends on the speed of sewing. And she's got the brother. Or did you just read that?
Yeah, I read that part. Yep. She was saying it depends on the speed because she says it's loud when she does it wide open. So it could be that my Jonomi doesn't seem loud because I haven't run it wide open.
Robin is working on her small hexagon diamonds. She's on number 18 out of 38.
She's on a roll. She's been sending me pictures as she's been going along with it. Because I'm going to show it in the trunk show. Speaking of trunk show, Shonda, are you going to send me any pictures of any of your stuff?
Not like quilts and stuff?
Huh?
Anything?
Anything. Crafty.
Alrighty, I'll see what I can drum up.
And you don't, and there's no limit on how many you send either.
I don't have much. I haven't finished much this year. It's been a...
Well, I know you got that Santa bag finished. Did you already send it off?
No, that's in person. That's for our Dirty Santa in person, Dirty Santa.
So you need to get a picture of that before you give it.
I know. I think I did get a picture of it. Yeah, I definitely took pictures of it.
Okay, because you can share that also. Yeah,
I love how that thing came out. Like I want to keep it.
It's pretty amazing. Oh, you did good, Grasshopper. It's funny that some people know what that means and other people don't. Like,
I know.
Grasshopper. You would have to watch the Kung Fu series to know the answer to that one. With what was his name? Oh, I can't think of the actor's name at the moment. I think he had a brother that was also a movie star, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's one of those Carradines.
Yeah, it was something Carradine.
Was it Keith or David?
Keith Carradine, I think, played Grasshopper, I think. And then there was the other one who played some other actor, or he acted out in other kinds of movies. They remind me of the Sutherlands, because the Sutherlands, most of them are in the movie industry too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people couldn't stand Donald Sutherland, and I didn't see what people disliked about him so much. He always managed to play the bad guy for the most part, but outside of that.
I always thought he was a good actor.
I did too. And Kiefer, oh my God. I watched him on Flatliners and I'm like, wow. Because he played on Flatliners. What else did he play on? And then he did that TV series called something Survivor.
Designated Survivor.
Designated Survivor. Yeah, that's what it was called.
I watched that show when it came out.
Did you find yourself screaming at the TV from time to time?
No.
I did. I'm like, what the heck, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty even though, Katie. I'm really.
Because sometimes I hate bad guys winning. That's the only way I can put it. They always win, and the good guy gets murdered or something happens to them, you know?
Yeah, I started watching it because of Kiefer Sutherland, but I kept watching it because of Maggie Q.
Yeah, she come into play, and I thought she was pretty cool.
Yeah, I liked her.
I did too. The other, there's another Asian actor that I like watching. Lucy something.
Lucy Liu?
Yeah, Lucy Liu. I think that's her name. I like her too.
Yeah. I watched that show Elementary. I loved that show.
I think I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes of that. I'll have to go back and revisit that one.
I loved that show. I like really smart, clever television. And there's not a lot of that. And that show was very smart, very clever.
That's why I watched Criminal Minds. As
Yeah,
bad,
that's another one. I
bad
love
as
Criminal Minds.
was, as far as the violence in it, I'm like, who in the world could even think some of these stories up? It's crazy.
I know.
I was glued because I couldn't help myself.
Yeah,
And
I definitely was a Criminal Minds watcher.
Yeah.
I even watched the reboot.
Yeah, the reboot's pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Because those were so deep. And Shamar, oh my God. He's so sexy.
Yeah, I started watching I was late to the game, but I ended up watching SWAT, which is the show he ended up on after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's I heard that he's starting an off show that's not SWAT. I guess he's not doing SWAT anymore or something.
Well, it's over. The series finale was this was the last season, or
Yeah.
last year was the last season.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I saw somewhere where he was discussing possibly starting another one. But you realize how long I've been following Shamar?
Probably since the soap opera days.
Yeah, he was on a soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
And even then he was a cutie.
I never thought he was cute back then, ever.
I did. I thought
I never did. I didn't think he was, I never found him attractive until he was like 50 plus. Once he got on SWAT and he was in his 50s, when he was like the younger guy with the curly hair. Oh, I hated that aesthetic.
But what I loved most is the way he had that energy between on Criminal Minds with what's her name? The blonde.
Penelope, but I forgot her real name. But
yeah,
her name on the show is Penelope.
Him and Penelope, man, they had chemistry going on.
Yeah, they did.
They
She
really
just seems like a fun gal. Like, I know she's playing a role, but she just seems like she would be a fun person in real life.
Yeah, there was just this chemistry, and you could see it in the way they acted around each other while they were acting. It was pretty amazing combination. Yeah, you're like, are they gonna fall in love or not? Come on. I would have loved to just seen that, but you know.
Yeah, I like the fact that they never had anybody on the team date, because there was some time when they were thinking about, there was a moment there where you like, was JJ and Spencer going to get together?
Yeah, were they going to cross that line that, and I bet if they'd have crossed that line, they may have lost they could have lost viewers out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just glad they didn't go there. I'm glad they just let the team
left you hanging. And I kind of would have loved to seen. It looked like there was going to be a bit of a love not triangle, but a love thing between the smart guy. Y'all, I'm terrible with names, so please forgive me.
That's Spencer.
Spencer and the long-haired blonde girl that married the guy from
that's what I was just talking about. I said, when I was saying I was glad they didn't have Spencer get together. Man, I just said her name and I just forgot it.
Because I think they would have been fun to watch, too. But they were interacted between bad things that happened between, to each other through the show.
I'm just glad they let them stay friends, because in real life, men and women can be friends, and and so I like the fact that they kept it as them being friends and didn't take it to another level.
Yep. Carrie says, have fun, time for family dinner. dinner, and then Robin said David, and Mary said David. What are y'all talking about? Oh, David from, oh, I know
Oh,
you're
David
talking
Carradine. David Carradine. Right, because
about.
Keith Carradine was in Revenge of the Nerds.
Okay, so it was David Carradine that played Kung Fu then, or was it the other way around?
No, I think that's right. Because yeah, Keith Carradine he was the younger one, and he was in Revenge of the Nerds, which is like a core memory for me. That movie.
Right now, I just wish they'd. Right, has anyone gone to see Ash and Fire, because it went into the theaters yesterday, which means probably maybe mid-January we'll get to see it on Amazon Prime. I can't wait to see the movie, but I'm sure there's going to be there's a few channels, there's 3 channels that I watch that cover certain kinds of movies, and I bet they're going to start talking about Fire and Ash. I hate how the regular media automatically disses a movie to try to ruin it making any money.
Yeah.
Because the discussion was that James Cameron might not make Avatar 4 because if he doesn't make enough money off of this Ash and Fire. And I'm like, why is this to be in a discussion to start with? Because by the time it goes through the theater system, and by the time it goes overseas, and then it's going to go through people buying the movie either digitally or hard copy, by the time all that's said and done, it's going to make all their money back and then some anyway.
It's just that negativity sells.
And the media is just blowing it all out of proportion before it even got in the damn theater.
Yeah, they do that with everything though.
I'm like, they shouldn't even be discussing movies. They haven't, stupid. It's kind of like trying to diss Godzilla before it ever hits the big screen, And I'm going to go see Godzilla because it comes out on my birthday, and I'm going to be in the United States when that happens. So this chickadee is going to go watch it, and I'm going to bust Blaze's cherry by taking him to see it. He's old enough now to go see a Godzilla movie.
And how old is Blaze?
9.
Oh God, that's such a hard age.
Yeah. I get phone calls from Thomas. Mom, I need you to talk to Blaze. I'm like, what did he do now? He won't clean his room. And I'm like, oh, we're back to that one again? So this time I'm using bribery because I really don't want Thomas yelling at him. I want him to try to parent him in a different way than he got parented by his dad,
Yeah.
No screaming.
You can make him earn stuff, like
exactly, and
if he likes the video games.
Yeah, that's why
it's like you don't get to play the game until you do the chores.
My newest thing is I said, Blaze, do you have your TV and your switch on? Yes, ma'am. Because he's learned to say yes, ma'am, and I don't know where that came from because he used to just say yeah.
It's a very Southern thing. He probably got it in school.
Must have, because now he says yes, ma'am to me, and I've never asked him to, but it makes me feel, it's nice to hear him being respectful towards me. And so I said, and he'll answer yes, ma'am. I said, shall I tell your dad to take your switch and your TV away? No, ma'am. I said, so what do you got to do to keep that from happening? I need to clean my room and empty the trash can. I said, so you have an hour to get your room, and when I call back, if it's not cleaned up, your switch is going to go bye-bye. I call back, he's got the job done.
I don't know how technically savvy your son is, but everything nowadays is pretty much internet based. You can't do anything without the internet. So one of the things I used to do for my oldest daughter, since she was such a problem, I used to change the password every day. And so she had to come, when she came home, she had to do all her chores before she could get the password.
That's actually a great idea. I should talk to Thomas about that. That might just work. The other thing is we set up a savings account for Blaze. And so Blaze has to keep so there's 7 days in a week. So he gets $1 a day for every day he keeps his room clean. Plus, he has to empty the bathroom trash can and his trash can in his bedroom every Friday. Take it to the room. That's simple stuff for right now for a 9-year-old.
I think that's very reasonable for a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I think so too. And I told him, I said, now that means you'll get $7 a week if you do your job. If you don't do it for every day you don't do it, you don't get $1. And there will be no money going. If you go and fluff off the whole week, you won't get any of it. That means it's not $7 sitting in your savings account. And when your birthday rolls around, whatever money you have in the savings account, should you choose to use it, you can choose to use it how you want to. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But he's got $5 in it right now. I will check in with him tomorrow. No, today. I need to check in with him tonight because today is Friday and see where he is on that. We'll see if he got the job done or not. And I really hope I cut these wide enough because if I didn't, I'm gonna be upset. Andrea says, I put tabs in my book of the ones you should have done so far, and I started at the back of the book, and I am doing them in order that the tabs are. I need to mark the ones you are on now. What page is this one? Okay, this one is on page page 128. And Andrea, write these down because these are the ones that people are going to be voting on. I won't know the order of them though. So Emerald Islands is block number 242 on page 128. The ones that they'll be voting on the order of how we do them, let me know when you're caught up. And I'll just give you the information because I'll be posting the pictures in the poll tonight after the live because I got to make the poll. Because I have 4 blocks picked out. And that'll take us to 29 blocks. That leaves 7 blocks to go before I hit that 36 mark. You with me, Andrea? Oh, I'm not even in the, oops. Hang on, I'm gonna type this stuff in the chat so she can see it. That way I can continue on with that. Okay, all right, page 111, block number 208, chocolate and strawberries. Hi, Sean. Page number 281, block number 547. That one is Daughter's Delight. How you doing, Sean? Okay, page
Hey, Sean.
page 313, block number 612, Birthday Girl. And then page 318, block number 622, Homestead Album. Those will be the ones people will be voting on the order of sewing them. Let me know you got all of them or if I need to repeat. That's going to be gorgeous, Shonda.
I'm hoping so.
It looks yummy.
The back of it.
Oh, it's quite long too. Look at that.
That's what I'm trying to test. She's about my height, so I was trying to see where it came to me. She's my height, but she's much smaller than I am. But so I was trying to see where it fell on me, so I could kind of tell where it's gonna go on her to make sure that it's long enough. I don't know if I need to add more rows or not.
Andrea, did you get all of them?
This is the okay. This is a good link. This is a good link. I might add a couple of border rows, maybe. I don't know.
You probably could, or you could do some kind of fancy. Oh, repeat the last one she said. Okay. The last one is page 318. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Wait. Page 318. Block number 622. And that one is Homestead Album. You could put a border, something fancy along the outer border.
I'm thinking of doing like a peacock, maybe, or I don't want to do something too intricate because the way this yarn is,
Yep.
but yeah, I think I want to do some type of pretty edging. I might do a couple of rows of like single crochet or maybe half double crochet.
Yep.
I don't know yet.
Did you catch it, Andrea? She says, got it. Thank you. Okay. I'll be posting a poll later tonight. I've took the pictures of the blocks, and I'll get them up in a poll tonight on both the Facebook group and on the YouTube community tab.
Hey, Katie, when do you need your trunk show pictures by?
I need to have everybody's trunk show pictures done sent to me by the 30th of December.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna wait that long. I'll just do it tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, because I need to be able to find everybody's stuff, especially the ones that email it to me, because there is some non-Facebookers.
Oh, do you want me to put it on Facebook?
You can put it in the Facebook group or you can email it, whichever's easiest for you.
I'll do the Facebook. That way you'll get some engagement.
Yeah, the more you put there, the easier I can find them for sure. Hey, and don't forget to tell what the name of it is or whatever.
Do you have any hashtags that you're putting or
just put sew and tell at the top of the post.
SEWINTELL? Or I mean AND.
So with that little and mark.
Oh, this okay.
And tell. So it's SEW and tell. That way it'll be easy to find them. And then you can say whatever you want and you can post as many pictures as you want. There's no limit on that because we have 12 hours to take up.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And if you do make it in, I will, if you think
what time are you starting again?
4:30 Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon.
Okay.
And it ends 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 7:30 to 7:30 for me. So what I was going to say is if you want to drop in, I can send you the Zoom link and you can drop in and tell about your channel, and then if stay as long as you want or leave as fast as you want. And if you haven't filled out the form, please go over there and do that too.
I have not filled out the form.
Unless you're just not interested in winning a gift card.
I don't want to win anything.
Okay, then. I'm not going to twist your arm.
I don't need anything. I actually would like to contribute to your giveaway.
If you want to, do you want to contribute something or do you want to contribute a gift card?
For me, it'd be easier to contribute something and I can do the mailing for you.
Okay, so email me what you want to contribute and send a picture of it.
Okay.
And then I could post it on the community tab of physical prizes people can also win during the 12-hour live and tell them that you're going to be donating it as a gift to a winner. Because that's how I did it with Kim, because Kim donated a PMQ kit when I hit 1,000.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, someone won one of the mini PMQs for the spring that year.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to do another PMQ?
Yes, I signed up for this upcoming one because I missed out on the one for Under the Sea because my colorway sold out before it sold out in 30 minutes on the early sign up.
Wow.
And I'm like, how does that even happen? It started at 10 o'clock my time. I was having trouble logging onto it and so it took me like 30 minutes to finally get where I could see it. And by the time I saw it at 10:30, it was gone.
You know, I think they really found something there. The pre-cut quilt kits.
Yep.
It's a mystery, which is intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
It's block of the month, so it's small commitment because you're just doing the one block, and
Yep.
everything's pre-cut, so you just have to follow the
Follow the
instructions and
directions.
sew it together. I think
Yep.
they really stumbled upon like a really good idea. It's very
Yep.
niche,
I
but
agree with
very,
you.
very good.
They're doing really good with it. I mean, I've watched, golly, their colorways have, been pretty substantial anyway, but the last few times it seems like now there's more of us signing up early, so the chance of something selling out faster has happened like it did this last time. I was so upset. I'm like, he was the only colorway that was actually talking to me at the time. None of the rest of them. I just like, nope, don't want to do any of the other ones.
I think I did that. That happened to me too. So which one did you end up signing up for?
For this under the sea one, I didn't sign up.
No. I mean, I thought you said you missed Under the Sea, but you
I
signed up
missed
for
under the sea. So this one I signed up for. I'm doing lullaby. What I did is I put lullaby and uh something fable. That really bright happy one. It had the tulip pink true colors in it.
Mhm.
Hang on, I'll tell you what it's called. Put both of them up on the YouTube for people to vote on. And it was a landslide for lullaby. And some of the comments were, "We haven't seen you sew any purple in so long." And I'm like, "You're right, I haven't. Not since Olympia, anyway." I did not want Canva. I wanted Cotton Cuts, dumb browser. Hang on, I'll tell you what the name of the other one was because it was bright and happy. And I've been doing like bright, happy stuff with cotton too.
Mhm.
Um, so this one was by some designer I've never even heard. Hang on, I'll tell you who she is. Um, it looks like tulip pink stuff, but I don't think that it is. But it is by Free Spirit, which is interesting. So maybe they have a new upcoming designer or something. I'm not sure. Oh, so the one I was looking at was called Fairy Tale. Oh, it's endangered now. So it's by Festival by Odile, and I can't say her last name.
I can't say her name either,
Yeah,
but
and it's
beautiful
Free
fabric.
Spirit, but it looks like a lot like tulip pink stuff.
Yeah, I have some of her stuff.
Yeah, it's gorgeous and it's happy, but everybody decided they wanted me to do the I can't believe it that Glimmer's not endangered because that was another happy one. And Golden Hour, this Golden Hour, which is the browns and tans and a little bit of yellow, that one is endangered. I'm like, that one reminds me of a fall quilt. And if someone loves building fall quilts, they got something going on with that one. Laura says, I'm back listening. I had your live running and finally my migraine meds seem to be kicking. I'm so glad to hear that.
Hey, Laura. What's up? What's up, Laura? What's up?
He's been down with a migraine today. And I need to wake up early enough tomorrow to watch Sean live. We'll see what happens. It depends on if I hop on the. So how many's in this chat right now, actually? Because they probably
35,
missed
it
my
says.
announcement early in the live about the craft room. How many of you have heard about the craft room tonight? Please say yes or type no if you got in after I discussed it.
I think most of these guys
Said she
went.
didn't sign up for the next PMQ. She has far too much fabric and way too many things to catch up on. Yep.
I get that, Laura.
Jean says nope. Did you hear about the craft room? Say yes. If you didn't hear about it, say no. Because I know some of y'all want to know what I've been doing. Laura
I've been
says,
really blessed to not have to suffer through migraines.
yeah, I suffered. Andrea says no. Yeah, when I was in my 30s and 40s, I would have to go get hooked up to an Ivan machine and they would put Demerol and Finnegan in it because that's how bad mine were. They literally would just take me down. Now I have no pain ones. I don't know, maybe I've had one or two in the past however many years, but now I suffer from oral migraines, which are the strangest thing. They don't hurt, but they put you out for, or put me out for like 45 minutes where I can't do anything until it passes because it keeps you from seeing anything. Laura says, nope, I missed it. Robert says, no. Oh, lots of no's here. Okay, because I talked about it at the beginning of the live. So I know some of you didn't come in right immediately when I started the live. Okay, I didn't even know if you saw where I did post something on my community tab. So I'll explain what led up to it first. So last night I'm sitting here sewing. I'm working on my dragon fruit and I'm playing one of my playlists from my channel on my other browser and I'm listening to it as I'm sewing because there was no one live at the time I was sewing. And it was one of those lives where everybody was discussing strategies on how to get me in there working on the craft room. Different strategies, and there was 2 or 3 people in on what y'all call the panel, and then there was people in the chat also commenting, and between all of us we were reading lots of comments from the chat of strategies. So for some weird reason I got up and I told Nikolai, I said, hey honey, can you come with me? And I grabbed 3 empty boxes that was going to go to the road. He says, what are you doing? I said, we're going to the craft room. So we went to the craft room. We put shoes on because you can't walk in there barefooted at all. And we cleared off. We used boxes to pack up the things that I'm going to have to go through a little at a time. Because the idea was someone made a comment, why not pack up all the loose stuff into boxes, put it in a cold room, and then later go through them one box at a time at my own leisure to try to get the glass out of the ones I could and then maybe go ahead and toss what I couldn't. So what we did is we boxed up what I thought could be saved. Everything else we started making a pile right in the middle of the table. And there was so much fabric in that pile. And so we got everything done and into boxes, and Nikolai took the boxes and put them in the cold room. And he come back out and he says, okay, what do you want to do about this? I said, well, this is going in the trash. And throughout the time we're doing this, there was a couple times where my chest was tight and I was feeling anxiety. And he's like, well, if you want to stop, we can stop. I'm like, no, we're not stopping. We're doing this. I told him, I said, I just have to don't think while I'm throwing my stuff away. Because I was literally throwing things away I knew I couldn't save. I couldn't rescue it. And it was bothering me that I was throwing money away. And so we ended up with a big bag of trash. The whole top of that cutting table is now clear except for a couple items. And we discovered when we were cleaning up all that glass. I'll give you an example of something we discovered. I had some coffee cups and plastic containers that were loaded with pencils and things sitting on top of that thing. When we took all of this out, there was glass in the bottom of them. I cannot understand how that even happened because the cups and containers were packed full like you see here, but there was glass down inside of it.
You gotta think glass is like sand. It's gonna fill.
There was some big chunks too, wasn't just little ones.
It's gonna fill the space.
Yeah, if it somehow it got in here. We also found Lego pieces in places we were like, I don't know. And it was probably because it probably came off his Millennium Falcon. Because when that window came crashing in and the frame of the window got broken, it crashed down on top of the Millennium Falcon and snapped pieces off that Falcon, and some of that probably went out the window too. But anyway, So we got all the glass out of small boxes that we found in boxes and out of containers. We got all that done. And then we cleared all the big chunks of glass off the top of the table. And when we were raking up the glass and we got that part done, you could shine a light on the table and you could still see glass. That little, they're so tiny. It's like the tip of your seam ripper. They're so tiny. But when you shine this flashlight on it, you can see them glimmering. So our next task is to figure out how to get it off, because my cutting table is made from plywood on the top. It has 3/4 inch plywood on the top. And so it's not finished. We didn't sand it down and make it all nice and soft and pretty. So it's rough. So what we did is we're going to take a vacuum cleaner first and try to suck up what we can. And then we have to come up with some other secondary idea to try to wipe up, get whatever else is left in that wood off. So anyway, I spent an hour and 10 minutes in that room last night. So you guys should be proud of me. And I didn't have a meltdown. There was a couple times when I thought I was going to, and Nikolai had told me, we can stop and we can do this. And I'm like, no, let's not. And then when I got done, I said, maybe we could go do that over there. And he's like, nope, you're done for the night. He put me out of the room because he thought that it would be better if he did. That way it gives me a chance to regroup. And Andrea says, you're very fortunate that you were not in the room when the glass shattered. I shudder to think what could have happened. You're right, because I had been on a 12-hour I was sewing, wasn't sleeping, and my eyes were bothering me because the weather had been bad for almost a week. And I can't sleep when that weather's so violent like that. And I had gotten up. I'm thinking I'm going to go rest my eyes. So I went and crawled in the bed. And that had to have been like 7 o'clock my time, PM. And the bomb that went off. It sounded like a bomb to me because that woke me up from my sleep. I was actually in a dream. So you can imagine how lethargic I was when that sound woke me up. And I told Nikolai, I said, I'd been sewing in there all those hours and my eyes were hurting me. And I got up and went to take a little mini nap. And I could have been in there when that happened. I think the trauma would have been worse had I been in there. So I'm thankful I was not in there. Let's see. And Laura's she moved her sewing room to the basement and then had flooding in there, which sucks because she's got a mess to recover from.
Yeah.
And
our toilet got broken today.
How'd that happen?
I'm not sure. Adrian's mom is staying with us kind of temporarily. We're probably gonna bounce back and forth between her staying with us and her staying with his sister in Georgia. And she's had many strokes.
Yeah.
And so they've affected, her cognition. And I wasn't even supposed to be here today. Like when it happened, I wasn't supposed to be home. My son had a doctor's appointment. I was supposed to take him to the doctor's appointment, and then after the doctor's appointment, we were going to go to the DMV so he could get his license.
Mm-hmm.
But my son, he's a very intelligent boy, but dumb as a box of rocks. So we go to the doctor's appointment. We're late because he made me late because I'm like, we need to go. And so we get there. It's like his appointment was at 8. We're pulling up. It's like 8:06. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to let you go in. I'll park the car because we're already late.
Uh-huh.
Guess what he did?
He waited for you.
No, he went inside. And then he sat in the waiting room and never told anybody that he was there.
Oh, no.
He never checked in.
Oh.
So I parked the car. I go inside and I'm like, hey, did you check in? And he's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no? He's like, no. He was like, I just sat down and I waited for them to call me. I'm like, how are they supposed to call you if they don't know you're here? He was like, well, I didn't know I had to do that. I was like, I've been taking you to the doctor for 18 years. You never realized, you never noticed that before we sit down, the first thing we do is go to the front desk and let them know we're here. And he's been a sickly child. Like, of all my kids, he had like asthma and stuff like that. So he's been to the doctor more than any other kid.
Mm-hmm.
And never noticed that when we get there, the first thing we do is go up to the front desk and say, we're here. So
Oh,
by the time
goodness.
I get there, then it's too late. We're past the 15-minute mark. And they're like, oh, you're going to have to reschedule.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, well, it's too early to go to the DMV. So I guess we'll just go home. And then I get home, and literally within 10 minutes, I hear this loud noise. And so I'm like, what the heck was that? So I'm running because that's what I do when I hear loud noises. I start running to make sure everybody's okay. And I go to the bathroom, and Adrian's mom is in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, are you okay? Because the door is locked. So I can't open the door. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, yes. She's like, but I need a mop. I'm like, why do you need a mop? And then I look down and there's water just coming from under the bathroom door.
Oh, gosh.
So I don't, and I'm like, unlock the door, unlock the door, unlock the door. And so she unlocks the door, and she's standing there. She's got in her hands, because we have this shelf that we keep on the wall. It's like mounted, screwed into the wall. And so she's
Uh-huh.
holding the shelf in her hands, and she's like, it broke. I'm trying to put it back together. And I'm like, okay, but the water is the issue here. We need to address the water situation. So I go and I turn off the water at the toilet. And that's when I realized that the entire toilet is broken, cracked, like just
Do you think
broken.
she fell down on it or something?
Well, and that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, did you fall down? Did you fall? Because how did this happen? She was like, no, I didn't fall. But she's, even if she did fall, if she wasn't hurt, I don't know if she would admit she fell,
Yeah.
because it's difficult. It's a
Yep.
difficult position to be in. And so I'm like, okay, but I need to figure out what happened here. Are you okay? Is everything all right? And she's like, yes, I'm fine. Everything's okay. This is my toilet. Oh, wait, let's see.
Mhm.
Let me see if it'll come into focus. Let's see. See that big old crack?
Holy crap. It looks like she must have fallen on it or something.
Yeah, it's like it's like a whole piece missing off the side.
Dang.
And so my best guess is that she was trying to steady herself using the shelf. And she put her weight on the shelf to steady herself, but that
Yeah.
shelf was not meant to hold a human person.
Yep.
And then the shelf gave way, and then she hit the toilet.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
So in
She don't
her
really,
mind, she didn't fall because she didn't
yeah.
hit the floor, right? So I'm thinking in her mind, she's thinking, I didn't fall because I didn't hit the floor. But I think she fell onto the toilet bowl, onto the toilet seat, and that broke the toilet.
Ouch. She
And
almost
I'm
probably,
like, I'm just glad I was home, because if I wasn't home,
they
we
would have
try
been a
not to
flood
leave her
in
for
your
very long.
house. Yeah, they would have been a nasty flood in your house.
Yeah, it would have been really bad, like really bad. Because
Yeah.
from the time I heard the noise to the time I got her to unlock the bathroom door was maybe 2 minutes.
Goodness
And
gracious.
it was a lot of water. for
If
2
you'd
weeks.
have gone on about your business to the next desk or to the doctor, maybe
If I
that
even if
thing
I
with the
just still been at the
doctor,
doctor.
yeah, maybe the doctor thing happened for a reason.
Right. That's what I said. God works in mysterious ways. I was supposed to be home.
Yeah, because that's what it sounds like to me. There was a reason for you not to
Yeah.
go through with what you were supposed to be doing that day.
1000%. 1000%. Because it would have been a disaster. Like,
Yeah,
yes, she was fine. You know, she was not hurt or injured, but if that water had continued to run,
it
that would
might
have
be
been
time.
disastrous. It would have been disastrous.
Yep.
My
And it might be
floors would have
time
been
for
ruined. The
Adrian.
subfloor would have been ruined. Like, it would have been.
Definitely. And it might be time for Adrian to put a bar in that bathroom.
Well, yeah, we thought about it. We thought about it, like how to do that.
It's going to be an annoyance for everyone else, but it might be a safety thing for her, so that doesn't happen again. Because you're
Yeah.
right, she probably went to hold on to the shelf, and that just was catastrophic from that point on.
Yeah. Well, that's why we tell her to use her walker or her cane when she's using the bathroom to so that she has, something to hold on to, but
Yep.
she just refuses to do it.
I know my mom did too. My mom would have black and blue marks all over her legs and arms, and because she wouldn't use her walker because the tumor was sitting on not just her occipital lobe, but it controlled because she couldn't speak. It also affected her balance, and so she got up too fast, she'd fall on the floor. And the doctor told her, "You must use your walker." She wouldn't do it, Shonda. And I told Mom, I said, "People are gonna think I'm beating on you or something." She would have black and blue all the way up her arms and on her lower legs, it looked like someone had took a baseball bat and beat on her with it or something. And she wouldn't have been able to deny it because she couldn't speak.
Yeah.
She understood what was going on around her. I mean, she would have been able to shake her head, no, that didn't happen, but verbally, she wouldn't have been able to verbalize that. And I'm like,
And
Mom.
his mom, she can verbalize. It's just that everything is not like all the synapses aren't firing. Like, she can talk, she can communicate, she can have conversations, but it's just all the synapses aren't there.
Yep.
Because, in a situation like that, your first concern should be the water,
Mhm.
not the shelf. So she's trying to fix her mistake by, she knows she needs a mop to clean up the water,
Yep.
and she knows the shelf is broken. But she doesn't know that if we don't turn off the water situation is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse
Yep.
and worse. Like, even 5 minutes, in 5 minutes, that water would have flooded both bedrooms on that side of the house, the foyer, and part of the living room. If it had been 5 more minutes,
Yeah.
because the entire when it happened, the all that water from the tank just started flowing out.
Mm-hmm.
And then because the tank is low, then the water is trying to fill the tank
Yep.
that it can't
Yep.
fill because the tank is broken.
Exactly.
I was just so happy that I was home. I was so
Yeah,
happy.
I'm glad you were too, because that would have not been a good thing. Look, fortunately, and also she didn't get hurt, so that's good.
Yeah, she didn't get hurt. Like, that was the main thing, because I was like, because the first thing I do is try to open the door to make sure she's okay, and the bathroom door is locked, and so I'm panicked at first because I'm like, I can't even get in here, and my 5'2" ass can't kick down a door,
Yeah.
so I'm like, um, what am I gonna do? And so I'm screaming, I'm like, open the door.
Why did she have the door locked to start with?
Well, I think she locks the door because she's just used to locking the door for privacy purposes, because
Did she lock the door when she was in her own home? Lock the
yeah,
bathroom? Really?
probably. I mean, I lock the door a lot of times depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes, well, not all the time, because my bathroom is inside my bedroom.
Yeah.
But, you know, that bathroom, everybody else in the house uses that bathroom. So my son, my stepdaughter, and my daughter and her all share that bathroom. So I'm sure she just locks it for privacy purposes. But I'm gonna
Me
have to
too.
tell her, look, hon, you're not gonna be able to lock the door
No
anymore.
more locking
Because if
doors,
you
man.
had been hurt in there, if you were hurt, I wouldn't have been able to get in there.
Yep. Pretty much. We never locked bathroom doors in our house, but I don't know why I didn't. I mean, I think I didn't lock my door from the kids when they were little because I knew that, you know, he wasn't watching them and I had to always keep an ear out for the kids, you know. And I just tore this paper, dadgummit. This is very bad because it's not going to stay intact now, I don't think. I sewed this one on weird for some strange reason. Oh, looks like I didn't finish cutting. I'm just having to refix it. But I tore the paper at the same time. I wonder if I can use washi tape temporary on it.
Probably.
Since that's not thick tape. Now I think that's what I'm gonna do is use a piece of washi tape.
I would put it on the back of the paper.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yep, and that way it'll hold long enough for you to sew, and then you can pull it right off.
I don't know what's gonna happen when my needle goes through it, but it should be fine.
You'll be fine. I've definitely sewn through washi tape. It doesn't gum up or stick or do anything.
Okay. I was wondering about that, whether it would or not.
I've not had it do that.
Okay.
I
Right.
mean, I've sewn through glue.
Yeah.
Because I use well, not sometimes when I'm trying to be really, really, really precise with my binding,
Mm-hmm.
I'll glue the binding down with Elmer school glue,
I
like
thought about doing that.
like
Just
this kind.
yeah.
And I'm sewing through it and it sews through just fine, doesn't gum up the needle, no problems, no issues.
I had thought about doing that using glue on the binding just so I can get it all lined up first and then sew it. Because I need to improve how I do the corners. The mitered corner part of it. I need to get better at when you fold it over. I need to get where it's lined like it's supposed, you know, like that.
Yeah, that perfect
Always
miter is
off,
rough.
yeah, that little marriage between the two seams.
Yeah.
Well, this was fixable and the washi tape held it, so it should be okay. Because once I take the paper off, the tape will come with the paper. Okay, we're getting here. We'll be trimming this soon as I add the other piece on here. No key to open, no paper. Yeah, there's what kind of doors are on the outside of that bathroom door? The doorknob itself. Can you stick a
It's one of those ones where you would need one of those universal little stick it in the hole keys. You know what I'm
can you
talking
use
about?
a paper clip to unlock it?
I mean, maybe. I'm pretty
The only thing
sure.
I know is to test that theory and see if you can actually use a paper
But
clip.
they make those little things you can buy
Yeah,
that you can just stick it in the little doorknob hole and turn it and it'll unlock the door.
yeah.
So I think you need to get some of those.
When our house was built, our first house that we had, we only house we actually owned when we were married. Um, they had those little things you're talking about, and he put one above every door in the house.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm gonna do.
He says
It
if you
just never occurred to me because,
yeah,
like, my family is pretty young. My mother was very young when she had me. My mother was
mhm.
16 when I was born, and her sisters were 15 and 14. And my grandmother was like 39 or ish when I was born.
Wow.
So like I've never had to take care of an aging person. So I didn't know. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah,
So
you're getting an education now.
yeah.
See, my mom didn't have dementia. She had a brain tumor, one of those rare ones. It's got a very long name. It's ganglioblastoma or something like that. They
Gotcha.
call it GBY for short.
I've heard of that actually.
And it was sitting right on her occipital lobe. And we didn't know she had the tumor. See, my husband died in October of 2006. And then my mother, she had started showing up at my house. She was trying to make peace between us. And so she was coming over and helping me deal with all of it. And she got in a car accident in November. And she got T-boned of all things. And my mom had been in a car accident since I was 5 or 6, I think, because I remember that accident she was in, because I was in the front seat and I hit the windshield.
Ooh.
Because what had happened was somebody's car stalled going across the railroad tracks, and the railroad, what a train wasn't going to come through there at the time, so those arms were down, and so you could go through there doing like 50 miles an hour or whatever. And so the person's car crapped out right sitting on top of the tracks, and everybody behind him crashed into him. And we were like number 2 car or something that crashed into the car in front of us, and it sent me flying from my front seat into the windshield. Because back then there wasn't seatbelts in that car. And so that was the last time my mom ever had an accident. So when she got T-boned, I'm like, what the heck is this? And the doctor was going to send her home, and she went to stand up and she fell down on the floor. And the doctor's like, you're not going anywhere. When they did an x-ray, they found a mass on her brain.
So basically the car accident was the precipitous of her diagnosis. If she
Yes. So
hadn't been
what?
in the car accident, y'all never would have known.
No, exactly, because she wasn't in any pain, and she hadn't realized that she had lost her peripheral vision, because that was the first thing it affected, was her peripheral vision. And because my mom was blind in one eye anyway, I guess she really didn't notice that there was a problem.
Let me tell you what, I have terrible peripheral vision. So if that's the symptom, I would never notice.
Yeah, she said she wasn't having headaches, she wasn't having anything. So she didn't notice. And my mom is not one of these people who just pull out. And she was in the turn lane of a 4-lane highway, and she was going to turn into the produce market, which is called KC's. And when she pulled to go in there, the car coming from the direction that it was coming from, she didn't see the car because she had no peripheral vision. And so she basically pulled out in front of a car. And I'm like, my mom would never do such a thing. She was always that careful driver.
I mean, not for nothing, Katie, we don't really know what happened.
Yeah. So that's when we found out she had that. And then they, because she was 65 years old at the time.
But I'm saying because of her age, they might, I mean,
yeah,
it might not be that she was at fault. Like, we don't really know she was at fault.
Well, yeah, we didn't, but the sheriff department said it was her fault. That's all I'm saying. I don't really, none of us really
We
know
don't
what
really know. I'm just saying we don't really know.
We didn't know what really happened that day, because when we found out she had a tumor, it was like, forget the accident, let's deal with this, you know.
Right.
When we all went as a family to see this doctor, the doctor was telling us about this tumor, and every time I would ask a question, I'm like, can you tell us more about this tumor? And he tried to explain it, and I said, so are you saying that, because he kept saying they'll take her in and do surgery, then she'll have to do chemo and all that, and that the tumor will come back. That's what he said. I said, so are you saying that she'll have to go through this repeatedly again? He said, I'm trying to tell you that without freaking my mother out, that the likelihood of her escaping the tumor is like she wouldn't be able to. So I went on the internet and looked it up. And when I saw the percentage of a 65-year-old woman with that tumor, she had a 1% chance of living her rest of her life out. 1%.
Yeah, it's like how much do you want to go through for
Because
1% chance, you
this
know?
particular tumor is a brain building tumor. It didn't come from somewhere else in her body because she didn't have cancer. This is something that happens to like 10% of the population of the United States. I think it's gone up since then, but back then it was like 10% of the population is affected by it. And they don't really know exactly why the brain builds this particular cancer. And they don't really, they did back then, they didn't even have a course of action that could actually cure it, because even if a younger person showed up with it, their chance of survival was higher, but still not enough to actually say, we can heal you of it. I think I'm putting this on wrong. Actually, I know I'm putting this on wrong. Uh-oh. We're about to make a big boo-boo. Because I have to turn this down like this. Okay, let me try this again. So, she had her surgery in December. She did chemo, and most people get sick from chemo, but my mom didn't. It was strangest because my mom was healthy as a horse before this happened. Other than being a light asthmatic, she was healthy. And so she went through the chemo without any trouble. But we knew about 7 months later, when she woke up one morning and couldn't speak, we knew she was back, that the tumor was back. And then she couldn't be left alone in the house anymore. So me and my daughter started taking care of her in her house. But we got a little bit of time with her.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
The person I'm making this poncho for is battling cancer.
Oh, okay. I'm starting to know more and more people with cancer, and it's starting to show up in my family too. I mean, between my mom and then my sister with breast cancer, and then I think my cousin now has some kind of cancer she's dealing with.
Yeah, she had breast cancer, and she went through the chemo and all that stuff, and she was cancer free. She rang the bell, and then in less than a year it was back, and it was everywhere.
Oh my gosh. So it's one of those metastasizing kind?
Yeah, so it came back. It was like in the liver, the brain, the breast. It was just everywhere. And so she's been battling that now for like, I don't know, over a year and a half maybe.
How old is she?
She is, it's 2025. So she would be 64.
What did you say?
64.
Oh, so she's just a year older than me.
But she's a very young, vibrant 64, never
Yeah.
had any serious health problems before. So it's not like she's, been dealing with this. Like she never really had any health problems before.
Yeah, that's how my mom was. She was a healthy person. She had issues. She had a hysterectomy at 42 because of the same problems, the reason I had a partial one, and they had to take her gallbladder out. She was always having trouble with ulcers in her stomach, but outside of that, she was a very healthy person. And I think most of the stomach issues are hereditary because all of us suffer from it. You try to tell a doctor that over here, it's like, oh, it's just indigestion. I'm like, no, it's not. It's something genetic with us. So Jean says, yeah, it's scary to have an older relative in the house.
I've got to get ready to go. It's almost 7:30.
I just want to get past past my dad's milestone of when he lost his life. He was 56. My mom was 66. And so I need to get past that milestone, and then I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Look at this. This doesn't even look right now. You see this hot mess? But it's just because I haven't bothered to trim them down yet.
Yeah, paper piecing does look really funny before you trim it.
Yeah, I figured I'd just trim it all at once instead of, doing it a little at a time. Let's see, what time is it now? Because I know you got to go. Oh, it's time for you to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you for coming tonight.
I enjoyed myself. I was
Yeah, I always
productive.
enjoy having you. I don't think I've got you on. We didn't set anything up for January, I don't think. Or
No,
did
we
we?
haven't set anything up yet, I don't think.
So maybe we can get together after New Year's and figure out things. I know we got stuff set up for our sew together. We got that done.
Yes.
But I figure with the holidays and everything going on, it's fixing to get crazy for many people. Not me so much, but you want to try to set up something after the first year, or do you want to do it now?
Probably, I mean, we can I'll email you and we can set
Okay.
it up.
Okay. All right. Because I don't want to create any extra whatever.
No, that's fine.
And I know after the holidays, we're all going to be like, meh.
I'll probably feel better once the holidays are over, to be honest.
Probably.
Feel better.
Yeah. I'll be mad because all the excitement is over with. Not that I'm having lots of excitement right now. I haven't even bothered to put the tree up. I still ain't done that.
I did get the tree up, but that's about it. I didn't do any other decorations.
Yeah, I'm almost talking. I think I've talked myself out of it because I really want to concentrate on us working on that
I
craft
feel
room.
like that's more important.
Yeah, because I think if I could, I told Nikolai, I said we might not get everything done we want to get done, is because there's some modifications we're going to make to the cutting table. We're going to cut the L part off of it so that I can buy a second desk that's similar to this one, so we can put them face to face and set it next to the cutting table. That way he can sit and build when he's home, and when he's not, I can clear off the top of the desk and use, quilt some of my quilts because I'll have all that extra space in front of me.
Okay.
Which I think would work.
I feel like that's a better use of your time than putting up a tree. Unless you really want the tree, which you don't, because if you did, you would have did it already. So I'm thinking like that's a better use of your time.
Yeah, I'm just not feeling it. So let's do something.
Yeah.
All right. Tell them one more time about your channel. And then we're going to scoot on out of here.
My name is Shonda. My channel is Under the Needle Quilting and Crafts. And it's just a laid back place for me to share things that are crochet and quilting related. And that's it.
Yep. And she's my bestie.
We have a good time. I have a good time with Katie. I like her energy.
I like your energy too. You're so calming and yummy, and
you're so like bubbly and happy, and I need that because I'm not that.
It's like putting water with fire. You're just calming. All right. One other thing before we quit. What is the modern equivalent of the word terry? Is it terry with an E? Is it turf? Is it delay? Or is it tumor? Which one do you think it is, Shonda?
I went with delay.
And that is the correct answer. So 86% of you out of 43 votes voted with the right answer. So there you have it. And I knew what that word meant because it's used in the Bible a lot. He went and he tarried at so-and-so place,
Yeah, I mean, I knew it just from reading. I read a lot. as a
It's
kid.
also used a lot in the a couple several times in the Lord of the Ring books because they use that old English language thing.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I didn't read that, but yeah, I did. I mean, I watched the movies, but I never read the books
yeah,
because I wasn't into sci fantasy when I was when I was young, like when I was in high school and middle school, and I was reading. I wasn't into sci fantasy, so
yeah.
everybody was talking about, oh, The Hobbit, oh, The Lord of the Rings, and I was like, no.
You want to know how old I was when I read the trilogy? I actually have the original paperback books that are probably like, I don't know what edition, but they're in that low edition number. I was 13 when I read them all. 13.
Yeah. I
And
remember they
I
were all the rage in middle school.
well,
Tolkien was all the rage when I was in middle school, and
I'm trying to remember. Someone said because I was always reading stories by Walter Farley and Jim Kellegard and the I can't think of her name that wrote Misty of Chincoteague. I was always reading horse stories. And someone asked me one day, I think it was an adult, don't you ever read anything else? No. But you're an avid reader because you people knew I lived in the library. I really did because I would bring home a stack of books. This is no exaggeration from the library from the school that would be this high. And my mother would look at me like, what did you bring home? And she'd look, she's like, half these books are not even fictional books. They were nonfiction books. It'd
I'm
be
straight fiction. I'm only reading fiction, kids.
it
I'm
was
only reading
science. It would be science books. It would be botany books. It would be crochet books, whatever, and it would be a stack of them.
I will say I never read to learn. I read for entertainment. I
I
read
love,
books for the same reason I would watch television,
yeah,
to be
yeah,
entertained.
just for
I
fun.
was
Yeah,
not trying to learn.
yeah. Mine was I just loved reading. I was insatiable. That's why I have so many books in my house because I just love books, especially if they're hardcover books. Anyway,
All
thank
right,
you.
ladies and gents.
Live, laugh, love, and dream. What do you do with that? You make something beautiful. Good night, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.
I'm kind of worried about something.